If you're listening to the replay of this live, be sure to punch that like and subscribe button. And let me know and drop it below your 2 cents as I go throughout the live. Be sure to help support the channel by hitting the $ 2 cents box in the Cash App or hitting the heart with the $ in it and leaving a special thanks below, letting me know you enjoying the content. But at the very least, be sure to punch that like and subscribe button. 11/28/2025. Hi, welcome to the channel. I'm Jay, and this is our 2 cents, where we talk everything boxing, and everybody's entitled to their own opinion. In today's video, we will be discussing a whole bunch of things that happened this week because this is Ladies' Night, the woman's only panel review show. Well, we just review the hottest topics in boxing of the week. Take a look at X. Take a look at some videos. Just talk about what went down this week, and then I get all the ladies on the panel, and we discuss and we give you this boxing talk from a female's perspective and point of view. And what's interesting about that or at least what I found interesting about that. Y'all come to the Lady Show every Friday. Y'all let me know and drop it below what y'all appreciate and like most about this show that I do here on 2 Cents Boxing. Like, what is it that keep y'all coming here on a Friday night to listen to women talk about boxing? What is it that you all enjoy about the show? Shout out to Key with the T. Shout out to Chef Jupe, who come through and cook with me on the panel most of the time. And listen, the panel is open to any other ladies that's in this boxing sphere that would like to have a space to come up and talk about boxing. If you don't want the men all on the panel, being emotional, calling you names, talking over you, come on over to 2 Cents Boxing Ladies Night, where we let the ladies own the panel and we just all talk boxing without all that interrupting. They can call in, fellas. You see the number at the bottom of the screen, 281-845-2103, or you could just leave a super chat below with your 2 cents and what it is that you want to say. And we for sure will address it. If it is left in a super chat, for sure. It will for sure be addressed. How's everybody doing tonight? How's everybody doing tonight? I had a very long week this week. Even though I was on vacation, I was sick half the week, unfortunately. And it was terrible. I'm finally like better today. You know how you be really, really sick and then you be like, oh, you feel better, but you still sick. You just not as sick as you was. So that's kind of where I'm at right now. That's where I'm at right now. So let's check out some boxing news for the week. Let's see what we got, right? Let's see what we got. Upcoming fights this weekend. This Saturday, November 29th, prominent cards include Ben Whitaker versus Benjamin Gavazi and Frazier Clark versus Jermaine TKV, with both events taking place in the UK. Anybody watching the Ben Whitaker fight this weekend? I like watching Ben Whitaker. He's an entertaining fighter. He got like the Drunken Master, Prince Nassim style mixed thing going on. He in there bopping people on the top of the head and dancing and sliding around. It is what it is. We all know if most likely he get in there with a real talent, a real boxer with real talent, he probably gonna get his ass kicked. But I don't know, because Ben Whitaker didn't he medal in the Olympics? So I do believe he got like a silver medal in the Olympics. So I know a lot of people want to be like, Ben Whitaker so trash and he can't fight, but he got to have some level of skill if he got a medal. It's like people try to say Deontay Wilder trash, but he got a bronze medal in the Olympics. So, I mean, he has to have something there. But ever since the whole he got thrown out the ring fiasco and they said he faked it like he had an injury, you know, people been bad-mouthing him ever since, but we're going to see. He got a fight coming up this weekend. I'm not sure how many of y'all like to watch Ben Whitaker. And now Ben Whitaker is also with Eddie Hearn. Man, Eddie Hearn is cleaning up. He got Bam Rodriguez. He got Boots Ennis. He got Ben Whitaker. He got Conor Benn, which they are saying now, y'all. I don't know if y'all keep up with UK boxing. I know I always tell y'all I'm biased with UK boxing, but like it's so much like drama in the UK when it comes to boxing. So sometimes I'll watch like their little news shows. I don't really watch it all the time because their accents be too heavy, and I'm just be like, what? But they really over there in the UK. Conor Benn is now all of a sudden big as Anthony Joshua in the UK. Can y'all believe that? Conor Benn, who just a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, however long it was, we didn't even know they was calling the man a drug cheat. Conor Benn was just a drug cheat that blamed it on eggs. Chris Eubanks slapped him with an egg the first time they fought at the press conference. That's a classic moment. I need to add that on here. so I could play it. Run it back when people saying stupid shit. I could just show Chris Eubanks slapping Conor Benn across the face with that egg. So Conor Benn was just a drug cheat. Now he's big as Anthony Joshua in the UK because he beat Chris Eubank. He's just as big as Anthony Joshua in the UK because he beat Chris Eubank. And that's my thing with this kind of new we gonna manufacture somebody system thing they got going on in boxing. Now, don't get me wrong, they've always been manufacturing boxers, right? But at some point, it was almost like, yeah, we can manufacture you, but you still got to put some work in. You still got to put on some entertaining fights. You still got to go knock some people out. You still got to be liked by the public. You still got to have all of those things. But now you don't need all that. You can go fight one fight and then, boom, you at the top of the pyramid. Conor Benn can go fight a drained Chris Eubank, and boom, now he's bigger than AJ in the UK. What the hell has Conor Benn done? What has Conor Benn done to be as big as Anthony Joshua in the UK? And I'm not even no Anthony Joshua fan like that. I'm just using common sense. I mean, all I've been hearing is Conor Benn name ever since he beat Chris Eubank. He lost the first time to Chris Eubank, which to me, he should be embarrassed because how are you losing to a fighter that's that drained? Chris Eubank all wobbly in the ring. He can't even stand up straight. He's slapping his punches in there like an amateur. And so now you beat him in the rematch, which technically y'all are 1-1. You really need a trilogy to see what's up. But nobody want to see y'all fight again. So when Chris Eubank beat Conor Benn the first time, was Chris Eubank as big as Anthony Joshua in the UK? Can somebody tell me when Chris Eubank beat Conor Benn, Dragon Assassin, ain't you in the UK? When Chris Eubank beat Conor Benn, was he as big as Anthony Joshua in the UK, Dragon? Because they're telling me that Conor Benn, since he beat Chris Eubank, is now as big as Anthony Joshua in the UK. Now everybody's cool with people fighting Conor Benn. Like, do y'all advocate for drug cheats or no? Because every time anything happened with Ryan Garcia, he don't deserve it. He a drug cheat and all this stuff y'all keep saying. Conor Benn a drug cheat. Conor Benn's a drug cheat. Y'all don't mention that he's a drug cheat every time y'all mention Conor Benn. Now he's the money man. Now he's the guy to want to fight. Now everybody's cool with Shakur Stevenson moving up to go fight him. When was Conor Benn ever good? I'm just confused. I'm just confused about it. My 2 cents, I never really cared for Conor Benn. Then he got popped with the whole egg thing, and I was like, okay. And then when he came back from the egg situation, he didn't look the same. His power never looked the same. He wasn't the same fighter. And that's just the reality of it. I'm not hating on him or nothing. That's just the reality of it. But since you can beat one fighter and oh, now you the best in the division because you beat one fighter. No. I guess styles don't make fights no more. You beat one style, you beat one fighter, you could be the best in the division. That's wild to me. But I digress. Let me get back on the news, y'all. Y'all got me off the news. Okay. It says Devin Haney is confirmed as a special guest at the 2025 WBC annual convention in Bangkok. Okay. Shout out to him. All right. Fights coming up in December. Y'all got y'all pen and pad. Write these down. These are the fights that's going to be coming up for the month of December. December 6th in San Antonio, Texas, we got Lamont Roach versus Isaac Pitbull Cruz. And we're going to start discussing that fight. I would like to talk about that fight tonight. Maybe when the ladies get up here, we can give y'all our expert analysis breakdown of the fight like we did for the Brian Norman Haney fight. We might have to put those analysis behind a paywall because they be so spot on. December 6th, At Broad Beach, Australia, we got Jai Opataya versus Hussein Singakara for the IBF Cruiserweight title. The network is to be announced. Lamont Roach and Pitbull is going to be on Prime. December 19th, Miami, Florida. We got Jake Paul versus Anthony Joshua heavyweights. The network will be Netflix. December 27th, in Riyadh, we got Naoya Inoue versus Alan Picasso for the undisputed junior featherweight title, and that will be on the Zone. That's going to be on the Zone. So those are the fights that we have coming up in December. I hope y'all wrote those down. But the next biggest one coming up is going to be the Lamont Roach Pitbull fight. And we're going to talk more about that fight once I get the ladies on the panel and we give y'all our expert breakdown analysis of that fight. Actually, though, I can't really give a quote-unquote expert analysis because, one, I'm just a casual. I'm not an expert. And y'all know I don't know shit about boxing. And I need to watch some more film, though. I kind of need to watch some more film, but maybe not. So Floyd Schofield has called out Gervonta Tank Davis, saying he's the number one contender to be in place to fight for the belt. Now, I don't really know what's going on with Auntie Sko and Kid Austin. I was rocking with them for a little while. Then they start being real conspiracy theory-ish, and I was like, okay, maybe they got something going on. Then they start ducking out of fights and making up all kind of weird excuses and stuff. And I'm like, okay, now they taking it too far even for me. And so if he's the number one contender and he ends up being takes mandatory for the belt, then what can you say? They're just going to have to fight. But I feel like Auntie Sko and Kid Austin had a little buzz for a little while, especially when they was finna fight Shakur, and then that fell through, and then people kind of had their eyes. I feel like they, with all the antics and stuff, like they've literally just lost everybody's attention, in my opinion. You got Auntie Sko coming on there talking noise, but it's like, we can't even take nothing you're saying seriously. You didn't duck 3 different fights. Like, it's one thing for Brian Norman to talk noise, get your ass whooped, still be on the YouTube talking noise. Like, you really have talked too much noise to stop now. Like, you got to keep it going, Brian Sr. Like, I appreciate that Brian Norman Sr. is continuing to get on the internet and continue to talk like he was talking before. And hey, it ain't switch it up just because Brian Norman lost, because it was how could I say this? It was more than him just selling the fight, right? That's how I see it. It was more than him just selling the fight. Like, he actually likes to sit on the internet and gossip like a woman. Like, that's who he is. So shout out to Brian Norman Sr. But Auntie Sko, you just need to fade into the background and be quiet until Kid Austin gets in the ring and get another win under his belt. Because the ducking out of fights, like, fans don't like that. I'm gonna tell you, as a casual, fans don't like that, because we wait for weeks and months and sit and talk and argue and debate about a fight, only for you to show me your wrist and it's not even swollen, and you sprained or broke whatever you said was wrong with it. You know what I'm saying? Fans don't appreciate that. We don't like that. So it's like, you have zero credibility. Like, I don't want to hear nothing about who you fighting. I want to be watching the fight and be like, oh shoot, Kid Austin about to fight. I don't want to hear nothing. I don't care about no lead up. I don't care about no press conferences. I just want to watch a fight card and your name pop up and you in the back warming up. And I look at my husband. I'm like, damn, did you know Kid Austin was fighting tonight? Because anything else, I'm not following it. I'm not falling for it. I can't pay you no attention. Like, it's too hard to give attention to people like that and things like that. That's always pretty much essentially just letting you down or disappointing you. Especially as a boxing fan. Like, that's the worst feeling, is you've been looking forward to something and then it's like canceled over some dumb stuff. But that's just my 2 cents. So I want to know y'all 2 cents about this Conor being bigger than AJ. Let me see. I think Dragon had said something about it. He said Eubank isn't a bigger name than AJ, but their names hold weight in the UK. Well, now they're saying Conor Benn is a bigger name. That's what I think is strange. Oh, we got Key with the T in the building. Let me drop the link. And then it's kind of like, I know we're doing a weekly wrap-up, but I've been doing pop-up lives all week. So, you know, he said duck and fight after fight and then have the nerve to still trash fighters. Yeah, it's just time to fade in the back of T-Sco. You're going to have to build that back up. Even Bill Haney knew when to be quiet. Even Bill Haney knew when to be quiet. Now, let me touch on the topic real quick. I don't know. It may be a sensitive topic for some. It may not be. I don't know. But can we all admit, or can y'all admit, not we all, because I tried to tell y'all, can y'all admit that y'all got duped by Victor Conte? I'm going to say it again. Can y'all admit that y'all got duped by Victor Conte? Because the whole time people was arguing and going forth, wanting to argue about the snack program and how Victor Conte is an advocate and the 365 testing. And Victor Conte was in boxing for how long, y'all? 15, 20 years? And he's only got 3 people. Nonito Donaire, Canelo Alvarez, and Devin the Dream turned into a Nightmare Haney to sign up for 365 VADA testing. Can we say that his mission to come into the red light district of sports and clean it up was a failure? I'm just asking. It's not boxer after boxer after boxer signing up for the 365 program, which was always the answer to solving the issue of people cheating in boxing. 365 and VADA was supposed to solve all the problems of people cheating in boxing, and Victor Conte was an advocate who was here to clean up the sport. He was here to clean up the sport. So I'm just asking the question, now that his time is up, can we look back over the time that he was in boxing and look at his advocacy and be like, you know what, Key, you know what, all that stuff we were saying about Victor, now that I really sit back and look back on the things that he's did for boxing and how the 365 testing changed the way, it didn't do nothing. It was a front the whole time. And everybody just think they just gonna skip and dance over it, like we just not gonna talk about it. No, I'm gonna bring it up. I'm gonna talk about it. Because I had people arguing with me, calling me names, cussing me out because y'all got somebody sitting in y'all face telling y'all he's trying to stop the drug use in boxing, when the solution that he has, the people that work with him don't even want to be 365 tested themselves. Like, how did y'all even let him get away with that? I don't even understand. It never it never made any sense. And now that Victor's gone, I just want y'all to admit that it never made any sense. That's all I'm asking. Because it's like, as long as he was here, y'all was like, listen to what he's saying. He's saying he's advocating for the sport. But now that he's no longer here, and you look back and you see, well, how much advocating did he really do for the sport? What advocating did he do? I just want to ask real quick. I just want to see what y'all 2 cents was about it. Shout out Key with the T in the building.
Hey, Queen, how are you?
What up, Key with the T? What you got for the show?
So shout out to 2 Cents. Make sure you guys like, subscribe to her channel. Um, Happy holiday, 2 Cents, to you and your family. I hope you guys had a wonderful day yesterday and today. And if you're like my family, they won't stop celebrating until after New Year's Eve. After New Year. So salute to y'all. Salute to the people in the chat. Same thing. I hope you guys had a wonderful holiday. And I hope y'all got some deals in. I just want to say this real quick, 2 Cents. So I went to a couple of stores, and those deals that they're saying are deals are not deals, girl. Oh my
I
goodness.
know. I don't even fool with Black Friday shopping no more.
No, you know what's the best day to go shopping? Real talk is either after Christmas or after New Year's. Cause everything they got to get rid of, they have to get in a new stock. But I just thought that, they was gonna do a little leeway today. No, 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 ma'am. Some of that stuff, I was like, come on, man. Like that ain't no deal.
Like, it's a
But
regular sale.
man, regular sale. But I hope y'all had a good time with y'all family. I know I did. Um, so I don't know. I didn't know if you wanted to go. Well, first of all, let me say, um, it's Benjamin Whitaker fight night tomorrow.
Yeah,
Period.
I just announced it. I just announced it.
Period. Coming in at 174, him and Benjamin. Great fight. I'm hoping that Benjamin pull that not Benjamin, Ben Whitaker pulls it off tomorrow. He has said, now how true do y'all think this is? He has welcomed a fight with David Benavidez.
Girl, he is not about to fight David
So at
Benavidez.
least he going for the smoke, 2 Cents.
No,
At least
he,
he going for the smoke.
girl, stop.
Ah, come on, y'all. Come
Eddie
on,
Hearn would
y'all.
never. Eddie Hearn would never.
Oh my God. He said he would like to have that as a American fight with David Benavidez. But I'm wondering how would this be, like, who could he fight? Oh, come on, Tuesdays. You ain't gotta hate on the young boy now.
He ain't fighting no Benavidez, girl. Come on, we gotta be for real. I like Ben Whitaker. I was just talking about him before you came on here, but he ain't fighting Benavidez. I like how they did this weigh-in thing right here. Like, I thought this was cool.
Oh yeah, that's really nice. I know that's right. Oh, boy is 19-1. He's from Germany. I couldn't tell you too many of his opponents because I really don't follow German boxing like that. Especially at those higher weight classes. But I think he's a little, oh, they about the same size. Okay, should be a decent fight tomorrow. The haters are in the chat. Haley, I forgot to say hey. Um, um, hey, Mr. Greg, good to see you, King. But I'm gonna tune in for that. I think Frazier Clark is also fighting tomorrow as well on that undercard.
Mm-hmm.
So just something to watch, y'all. Just something to watch. And if you in the Midwest, as y'all know, I'm in Chicago and we have a snowstorm. So I will be snowed in tomorrow, watching boxing. So this will be right on time for me at least. So something to watch while this storm tear us up. tomorrow. Praying that that the meteorologist got it wrong. I'm really praying that they got it wrong. But I also wanted to talk about I don't know if you got here yet, but no one going to change PEDUs primarily because the real powers in boxing are not willing to put any efforts in nor put up the money. What happened?
Oh no, I was just saying that people need to admit that they got duped by Victor Conti, talking about he was an activist and cleaning up the sport. When the whole time he was here, he ain't cleaned up or done nothing. So
Correct. Well, okay. Well, speaking of PEDs, how do you feel about Matias being exonerated? Pretty much.
I don't see the problem, and I think it's weird that everybody like, nope, he's still a drug cheat, and I'm like, y'all do know people's supplements get tainted. Like that's a real thing. That's a very real thing, and you know levels of stuff being tainted based off what shows up when you do the testing. So obviously, whatever he took, it wasn't even enough to be considered a bad test. They said it was below the threshold to even be considered a negative test or whatever the case may be. So, I mean, I'm fine with it. If they say it wasn't enough in the system to be considered a negative test, then I don't see the problem. Like, I don't see the problem.
Yeah, I don't either. They're saying people are, because it was, still that zero 0.001. They're still saying, oh well, he's a drug cheater. But in my opinion, no. That means that it's non-existent, bro. Like, come on, man. But shout out to Matias. I never once doubted. I'm like, nah, that don't even sound like Matias to do something for a Dalton Smith.
Now, come on, Key. You can't put nothing past nobody now. You can't put
I
it
would
past.
never put none past it, but not with Dalton. Like, if anything, if it was the rematch against Puyo, I'm like, yeah, he probably needed it.
But
but
folks be practicing the cheat key.
but not. Come on, Oshtring is like the stupidest one to take.
That's what I'm saying, and it seems like the least effective one too. So it's like,
And my whole thing is they gave Beterbiev the benefit of the doubt. Now nobody brings this up. Beterbiev had an atypical test last year. Who remembers that?
yeah, and they was like, we was talking about that, and then they just let it slide. They was just like, oh, his body is
Exactly.
strange and weird and produces this extra stuff, and they just let it slide. So they pick and choose, Key, but we're gonna use common sense and logic over here. If you're one of those people that think once you pop dirty, you a cheater, then that's cool. But you gotta remember, if your favorite fighter pop dirty, you gotta remember they a cheater.
Exactly. And then my last before I, sit back and we go back and forth with these topics. Um so it's a rumor going around. It was reported that Lamont Roach came in weighing at the 2-week weigh-in 148 and Pitbull Cruz came in at 145. Now, what now there is a picture floating around of Lamont Roach, a recent one, I'm assuming. Um and I'm like, this dude at least like 150 something. Like he does not look 148, but okay. Let's go with it. Now, we know that the fight is 2 weeks away. Does this benefit Lamont Roach? Does this benefit Pitbull Cruz with their weigh-ins the way that they are? And what the heck is going on? Now, this fight was announced about 2-3 months ago, if I'm not mistaken, back in like August, at the end of August. So we've been getting ready. They've been getting ready for this fight for a while. And for them to be both of them, but really I got my eye on Lamont Roach. For them to really be outside of the weight, because this is a 140 fight, not a 147 fight catch weight. So for them to be outside like that of the weight, like I don't know, I'm kind of I got my
I mean,
eyebrows
they
raised
not
at
far
that.
off. Wait, you said it was 147 and what?
148 and 145.
I think that's about right.
You think that's about you sure? With 2 weeks left.
Yeah.
So it's not gonna be too much tax. I don't want to hear no excuses.
I mean, I would just think like them pro fighters, like they be cutting that shit quick. That's easy work to cut that. I would think that's easy work to cut that weight off right before the fight. And you gotta think a lot of it probably water weight. They probably drinking a bunch of water and all that type of stuff.
I don't know, 2 cents.
So they
I
just
don't
gonna
like
sweat
it.
that off. I was
I
gonna
don't
say
like it.
he'll lose 5-6 pounds in a week before a fight.
Okay. Okay. So then what does it say with Lamont Roach coming from 130 fighting at 140 and he's walking around at
Lamont Roach is
148?
listen, let me say this about Lamont Roach, right? I think about Lamont Roach. I feel about Lamont Roach how I feel about Devin Haney. I think Lamont Roach is a really big guy, and we do know Lamont Roach works with Memo Heredia. And whatever they be doing, they're able to take those big guys and let them cut weight and shrink down and rehydrate them up really big. And so you see how big Lamont Roach, every time he move up, he damn near the bigger fighter. So Lamont Roach is a big guy. He's a big guy. So shit, he might could go all the way up to 54. I don't know. But I don't think him fighting at 140 is going to be at any type of disadvantage because he's moving up because he's a big guy already.
Correct. And that's what I was thinking. I'm like, when I seen the picture and I seen everything, I said, man, that is very interesting that this man is 140, that this man is 148, and he's fighting. Remember, he's the champ at 130. Now, another thing that I thought that was very interesting is the fact that there are people calling for Tank to be stripped, but at the same time, a lot of people aren't calling for Lamont Roach to be stripped.
I mean,
And he
they
hasn't
been
defended.
calling for Tank to be stripped. For whatever reason, these people want Tank to be stripped so bad. They've been calling for Tank to be stripped ever since he took the Jake Paul fight.
Yeah, that's the picture right there. And I'm like, he at least look, that is not, that's 148.
He is huge.
That is but have you noticed that I haven't heard Lamont Roach before the Devin versus Brian Norman fight. He was saying that he wanted to fight the winner. I'm not hearing that no more. Now I'm seeing that he has agreed to fight Shakur Stevenson. He said that after
Shakur, you think Shakur gonna fight Lamont Roach?
yes, absolutely I do. I think it'll be Shakur. I think it'll be Shakur versus T.O. and then the Conor Benn fight, and then I think he'll drop back down to fight Lamont Roach. They've been
You think
going
he
back
gonna
and
fight
forth for the
Conor
past.
Benn for real?
Yes, I do. I told they agreed to it. They had a verbal agreement.
That don't mean nothing.
You don't think? I think they will. They want to fight, and
They gonna fight at 47?
yes,
I
he
don't
wants
see
to move up
Shakur
and fight.
Stevenson. I don't see it. I can't see it. I can't see it, Key. I
What?
cannot see Kim fighting Conor Benn, Key.
Really?
I just can't see it. Him going all the way up to 47 to fight Conor Benn. Well, I mean,
Why?
I
That's
don't
an
know.
easy lick.
Man, Shakur Stevenson can't punch. Like, this is the thing, right? Shakur Stevenson, how you gonna keep Conor Benn off of him?
Conor,
Conor
come on
Benn,
now. All of a sudden, Conor Benn just got this exuberant amount of power. Come on, 2 cents.
he got enough power to knock out fucking Shakur Stevenson. Conor Benn, come on, Key. Look, who was Shakur Stevenson the last couple fights? Padley and Zapata.
I mean, but he said that he wanted to. I'm just going off of what Conor Ben and both Shakur said. Conor Ben did an interview saying that he spoke with Shakur and that after he's done with his fight in January, they have agreed to fight at 147. And Shakur um, um, agreed with that, said validated it.
Okay, well, let's see it then. Let's see it.
So you don't believe it?
I don't see it, but we'll see. I mean, yeah, it's boxing. Anything is possible. Shit, I still don't believe the T.O. Shakur fight.
I'm surprised that that hasn't been released yet. They're saying January 31st, but
Who's
I'm
saying
not
that?
sure. That's all the dates I keep hearing. People are saying allegedly that this fight is supposed to be January 31st. That's what's supposed to happen, like him and Tio.
Key,
Now,
I don't listen. I'll be Shakur always supposed to fight all these people, Key, and he don't ever fight none of the people who he be talking about. He fight Pad Lees and all these other kind of people. Like the call outs is cool, but that's all we get. We get entertaining call outs and entertaining Twitter talk.
wait a minute. So you don't have no hope?
None. I believe it when I
For
see it.
what? Okay,
I
tell me
believe it when I
why.
see it.
Why though?
Key,
Why?
how often does Shakur Stevenson fight somebody he's calling out?
But Bud just posted Shakur and said, I don't know it all, but Shakur gonna beat the brakes off of T.O. That's what he said.
Why is Bud posting that? We don't need you to co-sign for Shakur. And that just leads me to my next point. Y'all gotta let this man have his own identity. I'm going through the internet. They got pictures of Bud and Shakur sparring. They all pictured up. Like, let's talk about Shakur in his own right. Every time we talk about Shakur, it's Shakur fake calling out somebody. It's Shakur a Mayweather comparison is a Shakur and Bud doing this together. Like, let's talk about Shakur with Shakur, right? Bud, cool. He think he gonna beat the brakes off of T.O. That's cool,
But you know
where's the
Bud
fight
got skin in
announcement?
his game. But you know Bud got skin in his game because it was T.O.'s sister that disrespected him, who he called the B word too. Remember that?
But we don't even know if the fight confirmed yet.
Last I heard, which was a couple weeks ago, it was something about network.
Why was it something about the network?
Can you hear me?
Because is Shakur exclusive to the zone?
Um,
Oh no,
that
you was telling me it was supposed to be on PBC.
yes, they were saying that that was supposed to be a PBC card, and I'm hearing that we might still get the Gary Antoine versus Hirakoa on that undercard, but I'm not sure because we haven't had any announcements.
Shakur Stevenson is not a slick black fighter. Aircraft carrier, cut it out. But we don't have to see Keaton. I just be
You
waiting.
ain't got no hope. Come on now.
I just be waiting till I see it with Shakur. That's where me and him relationship is at.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. That's fair, friend. That's definitely fair.
Yeah, because
But I think that that would be good for. I think that would be good for the sport, like to have a Shakur Stevenson versus a Teofimo Lopez. I think that'll go. Now, will the fight be boring? Yeah, because I'm not sure who would be the aggressor in that fight. I'm not
it's gonna
sure
have to be
about that.
Tio. Tio gonna have to step to Shakur. Tio gonna have to step to Shakur.
But Tio is a defensive fighter too.
That's
I'm
what I'm
not sure if
saying.
that should be the main event, though. I'm not sure.
Is that a good style matchup?
I mean, I'm not sure who the aggressor would be, the dominant in that fight. Because Shakur, both of them do better with counters and defense. Tio do have some, but when I seen him doing that, pulling that move with Jermaine Ortiz, that kind of made me raise the eyebrow. And then he got banged up by what's that dude name? Was it Claggett?
And Sando Martin dropped him.
Right. So I'm just, but see, Sandor Martin went after him, and Claggett went after him. I have to.
Somebody gonna have to come step to somebody. I would say Shakur will come out and step to T.O. because T.O. can't fight off the back foot. But I don't know if Shakur gonna be willing to take that type of risk. Because he can get caught by T.O. So it ain't like T.O. can't catch his ass if he do try to step to him. Or I could say, T.O., you gonna have to step to Shakur. You better work on cutting that ring off.
So do you think that maybe
It's just a bad style matchup. Stylistically, I don't think it's gonna look like that good of a fight. But you
I
never
wonder
know.
if they should replace them as the main event? I think that if they can make the Gary Antoine versus Andy Hirakawa fight still, I think that should be
Wait, didn't that
at the
fight?
forefront.
Didn't you say they was making that fight?
Yes. But I'm trying to see if they're going to put it on that January card because we also have the alleged Rolly versus Manny Pacquiao card. So they can wait until then to put it on that card too.
What you think about Rolly now? All of a sudden, ducking Devin Haney.
Wait, what? Wait, what?
You ain't hear it, Key?
No, they said who now?
They said that Rolly ducked Devin. He shot down the fight.
How did he shoot down the fight?
How did he shoot down the fight, Key, when he already was in talks to do something else?
No, everybody know that we've been you and I up a lot of us have been talking about Rolly versus Pacquiao since like what August after the Barrios fight.
I know, Key, but you know, if you don't move your players around for Devin, you ducking them.
First of all, it was gonna be it was a 50-50 chance that PBC would have made that fight with Devin. That he you know what I'm saying? Like that's a 50-50 gamble. Especially when they have already been in talks with Manny Pacquiao. You know what I'm saying? So you're gonna give up Manny Pacquiao, the boxing superstar, who's Manny Pacquiao's son too. I think he fight this weekend if I'm not mistaken. But and Manny's fighter, one of his fighters, if I'm not mistaken, is Pitbull Cruz, right? So you're gonna give up the one of the head honchos pretty much and a boxing superstar of what his picks were. And his options were Barrios, Pitbull Cruz, and also a Tank Davis fight because he's been calling for Tank Davis for like 2 years now. He didn't duck Devin.
Key, I'm just telling you what the word on the street is, Key. That's what they saying. Rolly already shot down the fight. He already dug Devin. So if you knew that he had things in the works, you say a lot of people had things in the work. So is it safe to say that Bill just was clout chasing off a Rolly name?
Yes.
Damn.
Yes. Because he knew.
You hear that, Hanos clan? Why is
Yes.
Bill Haney clout chasing off of Sugar Rolly Romero?
It has to be. Because why they knew, come on, man. They knew Manny Pacquiao and Rolly in the background was working out because
look at
they're supposed to fight in February.
Rolly
definitely does. No, he did not.
No, he didn't.
They're fighting in February. What are y'all talking about?
Rolly already had plans before Devin even fought Brian Norman. That's why it don't even make no sense what y'all talking about. What y'all are gonna have to admit is that Bill and Devin the Dream turned into a nightmare. Haney was clout chasing off Rolly name. It's okay. Y'all can be honest. He clout chased off that man name, and now he trying to act like Rolly ducked him so he can have an excuse not to fight him in the future. That's what he just did. He just ran another psyop on y'all, and y'all falling for it. Rolly was never available to fight Devin Haney next because he already had his own plan. He just did a short talking about. He said Ryan Garcia been on his nuts the last 6 months trying to get a rematch, and then he dipping off and fighting Mario Barrios.
Yeah, he just caught. They have a fight. Look, boxing hacker. Rolly and Manny might be fighting. I think it's February 21st.
Somewhere around now.
It's like February.
So it sounds to me like maybe Rolly and Devin gonna always be missing each other.
No, that ain't well.
You know how Bill like to do that, and then when you in talks for a fight, he like to be like, "Oh, we could fight you, we could do this, and we could do that," knowing you're not available. You know the same old play he was running at 35 with Devin and Tank.
Absolutely. No, I take that back. Barrios and Ryan is fighting February 21st. Pacquiao and Rolly is fighting in February or early March. But it's already done. So how did he duck?
They just don't want to admit that Bill was cloud chasing Key.
I just I don't I'm trying to Lord Jesus. When so we calling come on y'all. We people been called ducks for less. Come on
Okay, here
y'all.
we go. Here we go. We got Boxing Hacker with the first support of the night. Shout out Boxing Hacker with the $5 in the super chat. He says, Key, you're wrong. Rolly and Ryan had a rematch, but Ryan pulled out to fight Barrios. Rolly is free. He is not fighting Pacquiao. Floyd
No.
is
Oh
caught.
my God.
Shout out to Boxing Hacker. You wrong, Hacker.
That's wrong. No, Floyd, if Floyd and Pacquiao was going to fight, it was going to be after if this alleged fight happened between Floyd and Mike Tyson. How are we forgetting about that?
Boxing Hacker just don't want to be honest, so he gonna make up stuff to be right.
Susan, did we forget that Floyd and Tyson put out a whole flyer about their fight next year?
Was they just Floyd trying to get attention?
No, Mike Tyson tagged it too.
They really about to fight?
That's what I'm hearing.
I can't believe it. That's another one of them. I believe it when I see it.
Like that, but they both tagged the fly. So I'm trying to figure out so Floyd got two fights, and if Floyd and Manny Pacquiao do fight, there's gonna be in the summer, towards the end of the summer, when Vegas is gonna be lit.
Boxing
It's
Hacker, where did you see Mayweather sign to fight Pacquiao? What are you talking about? We can ask you the same question for the same shit you just said.
exactly pound for pound. He said the WBA ordered Rolly to defend the mandatory Shakram Gayasov. So they're gonna have to pay step. So look, so they're gonna pay step aside money to Shakram for Devin or for Manny Pacquiao. Like, let's really look at the numbers. They just did it. Pacquiao just came back and just did a loan at a short notice, pretty much, versus Barrios. A $10 million gate. Everybody saw how that it was sold out. Everybody saw that on the screen. So are they going to do that with a Manny Pacquiao? Or are they going to do that with the Devin Haney? They're going to pay step aside. Because mind you, this is going to be either the second or the third time Shakram has got paid step aside money. He got paid step aside money with Boots, if I'm not mistaken. If I'm Shakram, hell, I'm taking a step aside. Ain't nothing wrong with that. He will get stripped of the title.
Can y'all hear
Come
me?
on, man.
Is my sounded or do I sound choppy?
You good, Queen.
Okay, Rick Tim say Devo Dev is running shit down 2 cents and Key. Y'all ain't know. He ain't running nothing but around that ring.
I guess I'm new to it, Rick, because I had no idea. Like, who would you pay step aside money for? Devin or Manny Pacquiao? Don't worry, I'll wait. Like, come on. And he said if Boxing Hacker said if he doesn't fight Shakram, he's gonna be stripped. So the WBA is gonna strip Rolly Romero. Come on, man. Like, y'all gotta Lord have mercy.
That's those hardcore fans, Key. They don't like to use logic here.
Oh my
It's like
God.
they swear they the best fans ever in boxing, but then it's like y'all don't using the logic and common sense behind things and how they really actually work. It's weird. That's why I'm a casual myself. But we'll see, Key. We're gonna see. We're gonna see if Devin. I'm hearing Devin gonna fight Jack Catterall next. Or
Yeah.
Louis Crocker, whatever that dude
No,
name
Lewis
is.
Crocker has a IBF Mando coming up already. So Lewis Crocker is already out of there. Barrios is lined up for Ryan. Is lined up. Devin got to fight Jack, which I said that. I said I heard that it was gonna be Jack Catterall. Now there's another guy. I gotta look at the rankings because I forget his name. But it's not somebody that y'all would be like, ooh, to. You feel me? Or shoot, Devin could fight Chakram.
Jack Catterall gonna be a tough fight for Devin. That's gonna be
Oh my
another
God,
very
2
technical
cents. He
fight.
gonna get beat up. Jack Catterall gonna get beat up. I don't know why you keep saying that.
What do you mean Jack Catterall can box?
2
You
cents.
don't think Jack Catterall can box? What you mean?
All he has is a 1-2. That's gonna be the fight that Devin stopped. He gonna get a stop. He gonna stop Jack Catterall.
Key, you tripping, Key. When last time do you watch Jack Catterall fight? Jack Catterall
Yes,
is
he
a
just
very
got
fun.
decent.
Do you know why you saying he only got a 1-2? It's because he's a very, very fundamental fighter. He's a very, very fundamental fighter. He got decent footwork. He can keep his range. He got the 1-2, all of that. That's gonna be a difficult fight. You're gonna really have to be in there thinking and boxing with Jack Catterall.
2 cents. Are you being serious or are you trolling?
I'm for real. I like Jack Catterall.
2 cents. He only got a 1-2. Now, I will say this. Boots Daddy Bozy has made him decent. I'm not gonna lie. Bozy has done some wonders. With Jack these last couple of fights. But come on now, Queen.
I'm telling you.
Jack Catterall is gonna get, oh my God. Footwork ain't there.
His footwork is straight. He's fundamental.
I'm watching.
Fundamental.
I am envisioning Jack Catterall head going back all night. Pause. Devin is going, oh my God, that jab. Oh my God, to Jack Catterall. That's a clinic, 2 cents. You know that's a clinic.
Nah, y'all tripping. That's not gonna be as easy a fight as y'all thinking. For sure. That's not gonna be it. And just like everybody thought Brian Norman was finna go in there and dominate Devin. And what did I say? He ain't got no footwork. He ain't got the fundamentals to be competitive.
Let me see.
Jack Catterall has the fundamentals to be competitive. That's what I'm telling you. I ain't saying he gonna go in there and whoop Devin. I ain't saying that, but I'm saying it's gonna be a competitive fight, but it's gonna be a very technical fight. That's what I think. But hey, I don't know. Devin could be bigger, stronger, faster than Catterall. Way bigger, way stronger, way faster than Catterall. We all know Devin going in there scientifically prepared.
Oh my God. Devin is gonna be 175 on this boy. Oh my God. Oh God, 2 cents. Now I will say this though.
How big is Jack Catterall?
What you mean?
What's Jack Catterall?
I'm not sure. I don't have a computer in front of me right now.
Let me know Jack Catterall dimensions. Let me know and drop it below in the chat.
I'm sorry. He said I'm tripping. What? Like
Jack
aircraft? Like oh my God. Okay, 2 cents. Can you pull up Jack Catterall highlights?
Hold on. Why you think I care about? I don't care about Devin collecting no titles. Whoop-de-doo. He can collect every title he wants. I don't care about nobody collecting no titles. You should know that, Boxing Hacker. I'm talking about, what am I talking about, Hacker? I'm talking about the competitiveness of the fight. That's what I'm talking about. I don't care about a title.
Okay.
Americans don't even watch UK fighters yet, always hating on them. I absolutely watch UK fighters.
I do watch UK fighters. That's how I could say he gonna get beat up.
And I'm not even hating on him. That's key.
I'm not hating on Jack, but come on, Tusis, you know. Now I will say this though, because somebody give me Jack Catterall's reach. In the chat, somebody put Jack Catterall's reach. I will say this: if Jack Catterall can hit Devin with the uppercut, then it might be. But Jack, he ain't even got no power. Oh my god.
He
Oh
don't
my
got no power.
god.
That's what I'm saying. It's gonna be a boxing fest in there. Man, it's gonna be
Another
a
fight that's gonna make Devin just look indestructible. And it's a safe fight too. You know what
picking
I'm
and
saying?
choosing.
And it's a safe fight before he goes to Ryan Garcia.
Is he gonna rematch Ryan Garcia, Key?
I think he will.
Shout out to Miss Joette with the $6.99 in the super chat. I'm not sure what CA mean. It says, "Happy Friday, ladies. Keep cooking and showing these men how it's done." Shout out Miss Joette in the chat.
It means Canada.
Oh, okay,
Right?
okay.
I think it's Canada, right? I think so.
All right, shout out Miss Joette from Canada.
Okay, he said on the money line said Jack Catterall is 67. Come on, G.
They clowning you, Key, in the chat. They clowning you, Key.
What?
Key
He
watch
don't
UK boxing. I'm not gonna let y'all do Key like that. We watch all the boxing. UK boxing, Nigerian boxing. If it's boxing, we watching it. Kangaroos boxing, midgets boxing, crackheads on the
69.
street
Yeah,
boxing.
69. He got a 69-inch reach. Salute to the Queen Jupe. Let's go, Jupe. 5'7", 69. Man, Devin gonna pop that boy head back all night. Pause. Oh my god.
Wait, how big is Devin?
Devin is what, 5'9" with what, a 71-inch reach? If I'm not mistaken. How he gonna get on the inside, bro? Oh, come on, Tusis. You are Sus is so nice. She's so nice.
No, I like Jack Catterall though. I think it'll be a good boxing match though, for real. It's not.
Yeah, while it lasts.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna look like no Brian Norman shit or nothing. I don't think. Because he got the skills, he got the fundamentals to at least be competitive, at least.
Oh my god, but when he does, oh my god, do you know what they're gonna say? Jack Catterall is a ballsy in this fighter. And
he could beat Boots.
And yeah, I hear it already. Look at what he did to one of Bozy people already. So you already know what he would have did to. Oh my god.
We're not doing that though. Poe Punda say Turkey is not gonna pay Haney $12 million to fight Jake Catterall. He paid him $12 million to fight Brian Norman. He paid him $12 million to fight Brian Norman. Shout out Chef Jupe in the building. If y'all want to get souffled, fried, broiled, baked, sauteed, microwaved, barbecued, smoked, grilled, come on up on this panel and let Chef Jupe give to you. Shout out Chef Jupe in the building.
Hey ladies, how y'all doing this night?
Salute, Queen. Hey. Jupe, tell her she tripping, Jupe. Tell her she tripping.
About who? I hear about Catterall. What did I miss?
She's trying to say that Jack Catterall.
What do you think? Wait, Key with the T. Jupe,
I got you.
What do you think a fight with Jack Catterall and Devin Haney looks like?
Okay, I'm gonna be honest. I have not. Last time I watched Jack Catterall fight, it's been like I think I may have missed his last fight or the one before that. I don't know. I don't watch him as often. I think I missed it one or two. But if I had to pick someone, I'm going with Devin.
But how you see the fight going though?
I see. I guess I'm not as well versed with Jack Catterall, so just please, just understand that.
Based off what the information you got already.
Based on the information I've seen, I think it could be competitive for a minute, right? I do think it can be competitive because Jack Catterall is kind of like jumpy and can be a little awkward sometimes. I can see Devin trying to like maintain a distance with the jab. He's gonna be moving around, and Jack Catterall is going to try and jump in and out, trying to try to like break the distance, which I think he'll be able to do. I think that Devin has gotten a little bit more confidence with his power, so he might go for exchange, what could kind of get him in some trouble. But I still think that Devin will eventually, with that extra weight on him, will be able to like get Catterall's respect to a point. Just because I gotta remember, this is Catterall. I understand he beat Taylor, but Catterall has had a little, not super wear and tear or nothing, but he's. I think Devin will still be the faster fighter from what I can remember. So I think it'll be competitive, though. I think it can be competitive to a point from what I remembered. He's
that's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I think it'll be competitive. I think it'll be competitive because then he knocked Taylor down.
I don't think they fought twice. Did Jack Catterall knock down Taylor? Yeah.
I thought he knocked Taylor down.
I thought he won that fight. To be honest, I thought he won both. Like I think they robbed.
Oh no,
yeah,
he did.
I think they robbed him.
Jack Catterall, I thought I had for Jack too. It was close enough. I thought it was. I do. So this is the thing too. Not to take it away from Catterall, I also believe that Taylor was one of those people who, which the weight thing. I think he's one of the people who should have his body had passed 140, but he stayed there because of the advantages he had. So I think I take that into part of it, but especially in the second fight. But that first fight, absolutely, I thought Jack Catterall won that fight. And I thought he got a knockdown. So I just can't trying to remember. And didn't he also hurt Regis?
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, he got some
pop.
Knocked
down Regis twice.
Yeah, he did. You're right. I think honestly,
Regis knocked himself down. We're not gonna do that.
I vaguely remember because I'll watch Jack Catterall. I just like every time he fights, it's in the daytime because he be like in the UK. And by the time I catch the cards he's on, I don't get to. I would have to really go back and look at it because I can completely be wrong, but I think it can be some competitiveness because I think Jack Catterall got some skill, but I still got Devin.
No, he say Jack Catterall don't have any footwork. He got better footwork than Norman.
Oh yeah, he probably got better footwork. Well, yeah, probably got better footwork than Norman.
He got better footwork.
I think Norman is. I don't know if he's as athletic as. I think Norman has a lot of athleticism and just unrefined tools. I think Catterall is a little bit more refined, but he just probably not as powerful. I don't think he's as powerful. But no, I get.
Jack Catterall do got footwork though. That's what I'm saying. He got fundamentals. It's not like I'm on here. And that's my thing. Like he's fundamentally solid for the most part, is what I would say.
Yeah.
And once again, we on here talking about Devin fighting a B-, B, C+ type level fighter. Like, this is what I be trying to say. Everybody want to be like Devin so great, Devin so this and Devin so that, but when is he ever just fighting? Just y'all could cry about other people's resume, but y'all don't never critique the opponents that Devin be fighting like that. I don't understand.
Yeah, I mean, Catterall will be a decent fight. So Key, I'm assuming that you feel like Jack Catterall is trash or something. Like, is that what you was getting at?
No, I don't think he's trash. I just think that he don't have nothing for Dev.
Yeah, I got Devin. I mean, going off what I remember, I would fully expect Devin to win. I think he can I would expect a knockdown. I would expect him to get a knockdown, maybe even potential stoppage. I just think that Devin is from what I remember, Jack Catterall is not that big. These 147 pounders compared to Devin's probably the biggest 147 pounder, well, by far right now, right?
The biggest 147 we've ever seen.
I can't say that, but well, wait, I don't know. Because if I'm gonna go, yeah, I mean, in recent times, yeah, right. So far as the weight, right, how hefty he is. So yeah, maybe so far as like weight, height and reach, I can't say that, but in weight, probably, yeah. So I think that does, but and the reason why he's still fast and that's another thing too. Devin is getting bigger, but it's not affecting his speed, which is rare. Right? It's probably because that's his natural size was always bigger. So I just think he has so many advantages right now, what he's always had, and so
Oh,
he
you know what? Catterall is moving up though. He
is
will
it.
be moving up. Is he at
Oh,
47 now or is he still at 40?
oh
No, he's at 47. He's been at 47.
has he?
Yeah, he just had his last fight. He what, a few weeks ago. He got the knockout. He got the stoppage against old
Okay,
boy.
you know what? I need to see him at 47 then. Cause yeah, cause now I think about it, you're right. I'm blending the two divisions. Every fight I'm recalling from Catterall was at 140. I
That's
didn't
a
see
good
his last
question. Do
fight.
y'all think Earl Spence was bigger than Devin?
Earl Spence is bigger than Devin. Probably due to I think that I think honestly, I'm trying to look at them. So this is the thing.
But Earl Spence didn't start his career at 35 either, so
Yeah, I think. Well, yeah, I remember considering the age difference.
and then that's Devin Haney's third weight class. That's Earl Spence's first weight class.
Yeah, so I think.
You can't really compare boxing hacker. Those are two
I think it's hard, right? Because I think that Spence always. I think Spence was truly fighting in his real
Of
weight
course,
division.
Earl is bigger than Devin. If Earl Spence started off at 147 pounds, then yes, boxing hacker. Logically, he would be bigger than Devin. So what's the point of your question?
I
Devin Haney is on his third weight class.
Well, so let me tell you this. You know how, and I'm put it like this, and I get what boxing hacker is saying, right? Because yeah, when I say he's bigger, it's hard to gauge. I need to see them by side because you'll think that until okay. For example, remember how everyone kept saying that Earl was bigger than Bud. The whole build up, he's bigger than Bud because Bud started off at 135. Remember when they
Yeah.
got in that ring together, Earl did not look like the bigger man.
Mm-hmm.
That's how things go, right? So it's certain people who have a body type or they do certain like I think Earl started fighting at a division where his body type, like some people start off and that's why they get to say, oh, I was a multi-division champion. Certain fighters learn a certain game where they are going to be fighting at divisions that they are much bigger than, but they're sucking down. I don't think Earl had a sucking down phase. He just slowly outgrew the it's kind of like Hagler, right? Hagler didn't do that was sucking down. Well, people, no, most people really just didn't. You matriculate with your weight, to be honest. So, but Hagler was always that muscular, and he wasn't about to be doing all that. Sugar Ray was a more he didn't have all that muscle naturally, so he was able to move up slowly. But I think that's the difference between like a Earl and a Earl and a Devin. Devin is much younger too. If Earl had started fighting as early professionally as Devin, he probably would have been at a lower weight class too. And had his dad took him to Mexico, well, the rules are different, and he can start fighting at the age of 16 professionally. Earl wouldn't have started at 147. Earl probably would have started at 135, 140, or maybe not 135, 140 at least, right? But that wasn't the case for him. Because all I'm saying is this: I saw Devin stand next to Bud and look like the bigger man, and that was years ago. So I don't know.
Anybody calling me a tanker maniac is getting timed out my chat. Just telling y'all. Go ahead. Y'all go ahead.
Well, I'm sorry, okay? Um, I love both of y'all breakdowns. I respect y'all opinion. Um, but I think, people been waiting for Devin to get the stoppage. This may be the fight where he get the stoppage.
With who? Catterall?
With Catterall, if he was to fight, I just
Oh
don't think
yeah.
that. And I'm gonna watch him again. I'm gonna watch this last fight that he just had again at 147. Again, I just think he might be a little too slow for him. I think Devin is gonna be able to catch him and capitalize off of him. And to be honest with you, Devin is gonna have the height and the weight and the reach advantage over Catterall. If he doesn't stop him, or you know what I'm saying, have the team, the corner, wave it off or something, I'm gonna feel some type of way. I'm not gonna lie about that. Like if it's just a dominant performance, you know what I'm saying? Like in our eyes, not with how everybody, classified dominance, because I it's changing every day. But in our eyes, if we see that this is just a cakewalk for Dev in that ring, and he don't stop him, I don't know how I'm gonna feel about that.
I mean, so really, who's there for who's the best? Who's the top competition for Devin at 147? He watched Jack Catterall. He watches Rolly Romero. He watches Ryan Garcia.
Honestly, I don't think that he's going to be able to wash too many people there. But I will say this. I think people just want him to be. I think his fans are really going after the undisputed. And so,
So it's okay for Devin to be undisputed at 147, but it wasn't okay for Boots to be undisputed at 147.
basically, yes.
And that's my only gripe. And like, it's funny because like when I was on KO channel and I was saying, this, it's because she's a Tankamaniac and she just had a breath for Tank and Tank. The funny thing is I was using it when I was talking about the bar and how the rules keep changing. I did like because they kept invoking Tank's name, but for the most part, I'm literally trying. I'm going 147, 147. When Boots was at 147, the minute he beats Stanionis, they were like, "Well, there's no one else of quality to beat. You need to move up." And it was this whole push of moving up, and he needs to go up and fight Ortiz. I don't know if people remember that. I was saying
I do, because I said he needs to stay at 147.
Right, and right, and I said so. Everyone was saying that I was saying that he can't duck someone at a higher weight class, and they were trying to. This was so crazy. They were trying to insinuate before Boots had even fought in 154 that he was ducking Ortiz at 154, and I was like, "What? He hasn't fought there yet." But no, there's no one else here, and he shouldn't go for undisputed. And I'm like, what? And it was, and I remember a lot of these people were Haney fans, and that's when I said, I'm starting to get the impression that this push for Boots to leave 147 is so that someone else can enter 147 and they won't get in the crosshairs. And now with seeing how things are playing out, I think I was right because, and that's exactly what it sounded like. It's like, oh no, go up, Boots. No one's here, and now that Devin's here, we want to see an undisputed run. What? Y'all were just against it.
I want to see Devin fight Karen Kruger-Dajian. But Boxing Hacker says, who said that, 2 cents? Devin challenged Boots at 147 and Boots chose to leave the division. Ain't nobody tell him to move up but him. And this be my thing.
Oh my God, no, well, are they saying that Boots is ducking? Are they saying that Boots ducked Devin? Is that what he's saying?
The disingenuousness in the stuff that they be saying, the way that they can flip timelines and just take context out of things, it's really amazing how they can do that. Like, you might need to call some of these people to your couch because I don't understand.
Oh Lord Jesus! Boxing Hacker said that Devin. 2 cents. Boxing Hacker said that Boots ducked Dev. I'm gone. Oh my God! Where? How?
You know what? I will say this, and I would challenge them because I feel like the reason why a lot of these guys or some of these people get to say things without backing anything up ever. They never have to bring receipts. And if you do read their receipts, it literally will contradict what they're saying. They just get to say stuff, throw things at the wall, and we're not challenging them to provide. We need to start challenging them to provide proof. So what I would say with Mr.
All they're gonna do is move the goalposts, ignore you, not answer the question, deflect.
Absolutely. And so that's why I was saying they will move the goalposts. That's why I would love a timestamp of when Devin challenged Boots versus
provide a receipt.
I would need, and I'm not saying he didn't challenge Boots. I need a timestamp. This is what I'm saying, like a timestamp meaning the date he starts saying I would have fought Boots. And because I assure you, that was after Boots had already said, if it's not a unification, I'm going to 154.
Wait a minute.
It was not until Boots said, I'm not I'm not making 147 again unless it's a unification. That's when he was trying to fight Brian. He was considering fighting Brian Norman. Brian Norman had ducked him already. Okay, he didn't even really pursue Barrios that hard because we saw Barrios wasn't messing with him. We already know he wasn't going. So fine, I beat the best guy there. Fans are pressuring me up. I'm gonna go up. So what? The minute he said that, suddenly, the Haney's got all this. They suddenly got this bravado to invoke Boots' name, but not a second before, because this is the thing. They've been on the same network the whole time. Devin had a hard time making 140 even for Ryan. Devin had a hard time making 140 for Regis Prograis. He could have been moved up. He was on the same network that worked at that time. He was on the same network with this man, same promoter. You wait until you leave the same promoter to start bringing. And this is not the first time Devin has done this. It's a pattern. So I'm asking Boxing Hacker, could you please provide the timestamp of when Devin publicly said, "Oh, we would have fought Boots," and the time, and then give me a time step of when Boots said, "Yeah, I'm about to go up with 154 if I can't get unification." Until you give us that, I don't want to hear it.
I'm gonna add to that as well. If I'm not mistaken, Bill Haney turned down Boots. If I'm not mistaken, I think Bill. First of all, Bill just put out a list, and correct me if I'm wrong. I swear to God. Correct me if I'm wrong. I read Rolly, Keyshawn, Tank, Shakur. They scratched off Brian Norman. It was two more people. There was no Boots on that. It was no Boots. Then several months ago or last year, he had Ryan Garcia was on there. He's never had Boots on that. Like, what we doing here, yo? What are we doing?
I know it's so funny. I can't remember. I was listening to somebody's show. I'm trying to remember who it was. Like almost a couple months back. Maybe it's been a long time ago. They said, I guarantee you, the Haney's are eventually going to try to say that Boots ducked them.
I think that was KO that said that.
Maybe it was someone's I was like, nah. I said, I know they do that, but they too crazy to do. And now they're doing it. It's like you're always calling someone out.
They're gonna say everybody that's a big name is ducking them, y'all. That's been the plan.
And it's like, and I'm noticing like they've been doing this for a minute. I remember when his dad said that. Remember, his dad was like, we offered Matias, turned us down, and we found out the guy he talked to never even met Matias. It was just crazy. Like they just do. They keep doing stuff like this. Like, because you and Boots were literally labeled, like y'all on the same stable. You were on the same stable.
Hold on, Boxing Hacker. I can't click the link from my StreamYard, and for some reason on my phone, your name is not showing up in my chat, because I would have been timed you out. But your name not showing up in my chat, so I can't click it. I don't know why. I don't know why you blocked.
Mm-hmm.
But I see you in the StreamYard, but I don't see you in my chat on my phone.
Blaze, that's what Boxing Hacker is saying. Boxing Hacker is saying that Boots ducked Devin.
Boxing Hacker is saying Boots ran out the division when Devin got there. That's what Boxing Hackers, which everybody know that don't make no sense.
And this is crazy.
I don't even know why you even saying that.
Think that I hate Devin. I really don't hate Devin, but this is type of stuff that makes his fans like they are unbearable. Like, why would you, like, really, like, so the minute he says, okay, after the fan, it's like, y'all, I said this, everybody was pushing him up just what happened to like Devin. Like, really, and I don't mean just like Devin, because I like Devin. I like seeing him fight. I don't wish no harm on that young man. I really don't, right? But everybody who like super go hard for him, yeah, Boots need to move up. He's a weight bully. They was calling him a weight bully, despite the fact that he literally had the IBF title, where he literally like legally could not be a weight bully, right? Which is crazy. Right. But he need to move up. He need to move up. And now I was like, and now they're like, now we want us to do 154. So it's just, it's like dealing with them. It's just like it's no point in arguing with them or even debating with them because they're not trying to have a serious logical conversation. They're just, I don't want to say nothing vulgar, but there's some huggers. That's how I'm letting go.
We're just gonna have to see what goes on with Devin next. I mean, we're gonna get a bunch of duck rumors of people that's already lined up to do other stuff. I mean, I just want to call y'all out before we get to it. We're gonna get you trying to call out people from two-way classes below and say they duck you if they don't want to come up. We're gonna have to deal with all of that. But the truth is, if the 147-pound division wasn't good enough for Boots, then the 147-pound division is not good enough for Devin. And Devin can beat all the people he wanted that division and get all the accolades he wanted that division. The consensus of the boxing community, which y'all have so vehemently expressed, is that nobody will get any credit for doing anything at the 147 pounds. Now, I don't feel that way, but I'm a casual. What do I know? This is what the hardcore fans been telling me. If Boots going disputed at 147 pounds, he's not going to get no credit. It's not going to mean nothing. Who's there? It's a trash division.
Well, I will say we have seen where certain undisputed runs, like, again, because there's been so many different belts and so many changes in boxing, not all undisputed runs are created equally. They're not all created equally. And some undisputed runs are better than others. Like, it just is what it is. Depending on like the level of difficulty, if you waited out and got you got the belts from this one particular person, if you really went through the gauntlet, it just depends. And so this time it's no different. So I mean, if he gets undisputed at 147, fine. I mean, well, like, do I think we keep talking about legacy and we just think, oh, you're in this history book? I mean, yeah, but there's a ton of things. Like, he's talking about this history book, but if you challenge them to ask them how many undisputeds like in that history book, they wouldn't know. Their names are lost to time.
Of course, they have no clue.
Their names will be lost. A lot of these champions' names are lost, especially back in the day, because there were almost any champion was undisputed back then, because there was a time where there was only one belt, and then there was only time there was two belts, and so you like undisputed champions were more often than not, right? So it's not like it's just this.
Boots is not a success. Hold on. Boots ain't no successor to Bud. What are you talking about, Aircraft Carrier? What do you mean he's a successor to Bud? As if Bud was mentoring him and he came up under Bud and Bud was training him or something. He is right. Bud's top competitor right now, is what he is to Bud. If you want to do any type of
his successor will be one of his underlings, like someone that he.
You tripping?
Would like it would be like a Shakur or somebody who come from his. You can't. I don't know how y'all. Maybe I don't know what succession mean. I don't know.
Maybe not. Okay, here's Boxing Hacker proof that Boots ducked Devin.
Chia was out. Mm-hmm. Now now it was like, okay, Ryan Garcia was out. Chia was out. Mm-hmm. Now who was next? Mm-hmm. Who was the next best guy that I could that I could fight? Yeah. And we reached out. Well, they came with Boots Ennis. We said yeah. We said let's do it, but we want to do it at 147. They came back with 152. I'm like, why would I fight at 152? I never even fought at 147. No, we can do it at 147 or not. Yeah. So then he moved up or whatever, and then Brian Norman. Now.
So it was like, okay. Technically, Boxing Hacker Devin ducked the fight.
Right. Because Boots had already, at that point, Boots had already said that if it was not a unification, he was not staying at 147. And Devin ain't got no belt.
Devin wanted to fight him. He said, cool, let's fight at 152. And Devin said no. So he's the one that turned the fight down. Boxing Hacker. What? You just cooked yourself.
Right. Because if anything, at this point, Boots is kind of the A side because he's the one headlining. Devin's not.
And he was the champion.
Right, like, and we already know, like, at that point he was a unified champion, and was like, okay, no one else about to fight me. I'm not, and I remember and just to show you how consistent and how I'm not biased. Remember when everybody was saying Boots should fight Tio?
Yes, and I said that was a stupid ass fight.
We all said because he's not going to get any credit for it. Number one. Number two, he's not about to make that weight cut again unless there is. I don't see him make it. Like he has said, he's not about to make that weight cut again. Which fine, he can make it, but why make it again if there's not something on the line? Boots clearly wanted more belts. If you didn't have a belt at 147, there was no point in him wasting that weight cut on you. And I didn't think Tio was worth it, and Devin ain't worth it. You have nothing to offer.
Now, I should make the weight cut so you could fight for my belts.
Right, I gotta cut. I'm only here, and I'm actually proud of Boots for standing his ground on that, because what he did was avoid some of the key mistakes that Earl made.
Man, Earl was just trying to get that payday.
Yeah, and Earl was thirsty for them belts, and I just think that not thirsty, but like, I think Earl wanted. I get what Earl wanted. I really do get what he was saying, and I get it. Like, you want certain things, but kind of like Ortiz too. Ortiz was trying his best.
Hold on, I'm sorry not to cut you off, Juke. He said just because you're headlining in your hometown don't mean you're the A-side. Stop it. And I can tell you for sure, if you're fighting overseas in the middle of the day on a Saturday, competing with NFL football, you're for sure not the A-side.
That point.
Hold on, whoa. So, Juke, not to 2 cents. Look, the deal. Juke brought up something really important. The Tio fight. The deal was $11 million, if I'm not mistaken, around that ballpark, right? Now, that's what it's saying in these reports. I'm trying to look it up. I'm trying to find it. But it was saying that, and that's when him and Eddie was going back and forth, Bill and Eddie, and that he wanted $5, $6, $7 million. Now, Tio ended up turning down that fight. We already know. Tio never wanted to fight Boots or Bud or any of them. And then they wanted, so if I'm getting this correct, Devin wanted to fight Boots, and Boots said we could fight at a catch weight at 152, and Devin said no and walked away, right? So that would make Devin a duck, because if you all had already fought at 147 with Ramirez, or a catch, or however y'all want to phrase it today, then you could have went up and fought Boots if he was really about that life. I think he was just trying to attach his name there, trying to let it be known to his fans that buy this crap, that that Debo persona. Remember, I told y'all last week that it appears that they're trying to change Devin's whole persona right now. Mr. Tuck Your Chain In, Mr. All this stuff I'm hearing. He got Rolly ducking. He got Ryan scared. He got Boots scared. He got everybody scared. So it appears that he is trying to, they're trying to change, the terror that he had at 135 is now moved up to 147, and nobody wants to fight. He's the boogeyman, right? So that's what it appears to me. I can't call Boots a duck out for this information. I'm sorry. It don't even make sense. Like, at all.
Anybody the person that walked away from the fight was Devin. So how you gonna call Boots a duck when Devin's the one that's ultimately the reasons the fight not happening?
Right. And not only that, like what Key was saying is correct. I think they're just trying to, I think it's like they're recooking the old persona they tried to make, which is always, and Devin gets so much credit for this. Like, he gets a lot of Devin's persona is not even about or the respect and love people have for him, of his fans. And I like Devin. I think he's a good fighter. I think he is a good kid. I don't have any ill feelings towards him. His fan base annoying as hell, but that's another thing. But
why do y'all keep saying that Devin is definitely the A-side over Boots? It's obvious that y'all don't understand how it works, and it's the problem I have with hardcore.
I think they probably going about the pay-per-view of that Ryan was. That's a whole other conversation we can break down. But I will say this: Devin has tried this before. His whole persona, if you think about it, is not based. The reason why people like Devin is not even based on the people he's actually fought. Is based on the people he's called out, whether it was realistically able to be made or not. Devin's whole persona on YouTube is he'll fight anyone. He'll fight anyone. And you say, okay, well, who's anyone? Who is this anyone, this big bad wolf that he fought? And who's his best guy he fought is Lomachenko, whose best era was at 130, right? But it's this, he has this mystique. They're trying to build this mystique around, he'll fight anyone and everyone's scared. And so what they do is they find times when they know no one else is, when you're not available, they're not available, say they want to fight you. Oh, see, I tried to fight them. I need, like, this is something it's just, again, it's reheated nachos. They've given it before. They reheating the same nachos over and over again. It's getting stale. But for some of the newcomers, they don't know the play. He's been doing this for a minute.
Boxing Hacker definitely knows better.
Oh yeah, he probably.
And then let's say that Devin is the A side over Boots. It ain't gonna change that ass whooping. Like, y'all gotta stop this. Like,
but even though there's a thing,
it ain't gonna change nothing.
But the thing is, how can Devin be the A side over Boots when he's not even working in that? He's not working within those parameters.
He's not even the A side of the. He's not even the A side now. Turkey the A side.
Right, and that's what I'm saying. Devin has relinquished those parameters once you work for Turkey. You're no longer even going off of your sales data. You're going off of Turkey gave it to me. Turkey said I could. That's different. When we talk about A side, B side, we're talking about people who are generating, like, people coming, like, so when Boots has a fight, it's not because some rich man in the Middle East cut a check. It's because those fans, like, it's not some rich man's friends. Those people, those hardworking people from Philadelphia said, you know what? We about to buy these tickets to see our man's Boots get down. When Tank is fighting, it's because his fans are paying. That's not what. So the people who are trying to say this A side B, they want to play A side B side politics with sales that they're not even getting. Like, you just fought in Saudi Arabia, the prince's friends and concubines and who the heck else. I probably shouldn't have said that. That's mean. But I don't know what the situation is over there.
Did you say concubine?
Just for clarity, you guys, I kind of had happy hour before I got here, so my bad.
Hold on, you see Blaze P4P say Devin landed 70 punches in each of his last 2 fights. And this is what I be saying, Blaze P4P. It's not like you be wanting to hate on these fighters because we get it. Devin won. He got a knockdown in the second round, whoop-de-doo. But his fans make you just come on here and just have to be honest. Like, come on, y'all. Because they be so out of the realm of what's really going on. Like, come on, y'all. Like, okay, guys, he had a good performance. Okay. Oh, all right. He landed 70 punches. Come on now. And then they want to be like, oh, you hating. And it's like, no, y'all got to chill.
And it was a good performance. But what I was trying to say is that the thing is that this A side, B side thing, you have to go sell for sale. And I get it. So I think they're probably trying to say that Devin's the A side because he's had a pay-per-view and but Boots has not. The problem with that is that, yes, well, you can go off those pay-per-view sales, but according to Golden Boy and according to Devin himself, because they were complaining about the money, apparently it didn't do too well. I don't know what happened with that. Maybe I don't know if it's because the overhead was more than the profit. Who knows? But at the end of the day, right now, you're under a different system. You're not under the A side, B side system. You're on the what Turkey says system. So you're not working for what your commercial value is because he's taking you out of that whole commercial like that whole world.
He's devaluing you, actually.
And slowly but surely, they don't see it yet. But you can't compare yourself to Boots now because Boots is filling arenas based on sales. He's not inviting a whole bunch of friends and family to just come see you and everybody just comes in and you just fight. So that's the problem with trying to compare them about who's A side, B side now is because the Haneys have checked out and these fans, they love Turkey, right? You checked out of that. And now you're trying to say I'm the A side, B side. Well, how much did this event sell? What were the tickets? What's the pay-per-view sales?
Devin is the Z side.
And he's not even the headliner, so he can't even get the sales. His last 2 fights, he can't even use his sales data because he wasn't the headliner.
He's a Z side.
And let me say this because Hannibal and Boxing Hacker is going in. So Hannibal is saying once Boots have a tough fight, at 154, then all these texts will change. First of all, 154, as all three of us had said time and time again, is one of the most exciting weight classes in boxing, and it has the toughest competition, pound for pound. Ain't really
Absolutely. We expect nothing but tough fights at 154.
exactly. I wouldn't be surprised if Boots get knocked down by Fundora,
Right.
by Jamel
That's
Charlo,
why we love the
by
division. It's the
Virgil
toughest
Ortiz.
division.
Exactly. Like that's a very tough division. Like God, Lee,
Let me read this comment. He says, 2 Cent, when Devin beats Boots, what will you say? You gonna say Boots wasn't that good either? Nope. I'm gonna say they cheated.
I'm gonna just say the better man won. It wasn't Boots night. But I definitely, like I said, for me, I can't ever. That's a bad style matchup. Like, I'm not even gonna lie. That's a bad style. He said, we got to see how he look against top competition. Okay, y'all said that Stanionis and Boots was gonna be close and all this other stuff. We told y'all Boots finna do his thing because there's really nobody with his style. I told y'all Boots is one of the best. I think that Boots transitions from orthodox to southpaw better than Terrence Crawford. You know what I'm saying? It's a smoother. I'm not saying that he's better than Bud, but
He's
it's a more
switch hitter.
smoother trans.
Bud
Exactly.
just switch his feet.
No, I agree.
Exactly.
I agree.
I like the way with Boots. I like the way Boots sets up shots. Like even even though the Karen fight was fought differently, and I get that, you know what I'm saying. But he does have a time of not listening at times to Bozy. I can't say that, but at the same time, he did drop Karen in that fight, and it wasn't no close. Oh my God, this a toss up round and da da da. We knew who the clear winner was. You feel me? It wasn't no, I don't think Karen won what, maybe one round, if that.
Maybe.
Like maybe, possibly, but we gotta keep it 105. Like Boots is a very, very good fighter. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying this is this is not no knock on Dev, but I'm tired of hearing this. Oh well, we'll be able to see him at top competition. Okay, well tell that to Virgil Ortiz. Cause they still haven't gotten back to Eddie Hearn. You feel me? To set up something, you know, and Boots got in the ring with him, you know, like that's the one that everybody been waiting to
actually
see.
Think that's a great fight. Since Karen done fought Boots, Devin should fight Boots. So they both have a former opponent that they've both fought. You know what I'm saying? Like you chasing somebody or you want to prove you up there on the level with somebody, you fight one of their opponents. So why don't Devin fight Karen?
Yeah, and you know, I think if I recall, so I know Jack Catterall is number one. I don't know how, and Karen Kukadaji.
I don't know how because he about to fight Devin.
Yeah, I don't know how. Karen Kukadajian is ranked number 2, but I agree with everything he said. So when it comes to that, like I'm not saying. I remember saying like had they fought like a year ago, and I don't even know maybe today, but I think Bud's experience and IQ would kind of get him over the edge. But the longer he waits, the scarier it's going to be. There are certain things that Bud has over Boots, and certain things Boots got over Bud, and that's the fact that I agree about the whole trends, how he can go from left to right. Really, he's more fluid. He has the fluidity of a Boots has the fluidity of like Hagler. You know how Hagler would just like, I don't know if y'all already watched that era. How like it was just so fluid and he would transition so like butter. And I think that's what Boots got versus Terrence is really based on if he's in setting up offense, defense, depends. He rarely switches mid-fight. Boots will switch 3, 4, 5 times within seconds. He's just naturally like, you know, and so he has so much skill again. And so like Hacker said, what you gonna say when Devin beats Boots? What will you say? I would say good job, Devin, if it was me. But so I'm happy we got y'all talking about that because I think that that's actually gonna be Devin's that will be his premier fight because that's the person who's actually closest to his size. And so I would love to see him get that Garcia rematch if he can, and then move on up 154. Let's see it. So
we gotta get past Ryan.
Right. All I'm saying is that if they're talking about it like, oh, what you gonna say when you beat him? Okay, then why are you dilly-dallying at 147 for? We already saw you. Because again, we can't claim like, oh, he got to do the undisputed. He only made 140 for a hot second. What it's showing us is that he's 2 fights and done at every division. So technically, he really already got 2 fights at 147. Technically, he got 2 fights because anything above 140 is 147. So $5, sorry, he can move on up. You did the same thing at 140. Why not at 147? We already know you've been cutting weight like crazy. That's why we've been seeing your cheekbones for the last 5 years. Go ahead and move up, and we can see if he beat Boots, he beat Boots. Let's see it. Why are we talking about Rolly Romero then?
I mean, think about how they were saying there's nobody for Tank to fight, and they were just crying about him moving up. Like, why does the same not apply here, even though he on his 3rd weight class?
Exactly. Like Tank ain't gonna have nobody. And now get this: 135 and 140 got more heat than what man. Those divisions got so much heat, got so much smoke. 147 is blah. 135
and they all trying to run up there. Shakur trying to run up there.
Yeah, 135
trying to run up there. They all trying to run to 147.
Right.
Because this is sweet.
It is weak. Right now, 135 and 140 is heat. Like Tank got some good smoke. And whether he do 135, 140, he can literally stay at 135, never touch 140, and have better matchups. 147 has basically people that Tank already beat that Devin is not gonna get no credit for. So yeah, so if you tell him what you gonna say if he beat, I'm gonna say good job. Let's see it. Take your butt up there. You did your 2 fight minimum at 147, just like you did at 140. What's the problem?
How come nobody say Devin ran out the 140 division?
Right.
That's what I've been said that Devin Duck stand
Well, because
team,
you know
but
why?
they cuss me out when I say that.
You know why?
For sure.
Because now they're willing to admit what I've been saying is that he's too big. Because remember when I wasn't really as active on certain channels back then, but when Devin was at 140, and he had trouble making weight for Prograis. And they were like, no, he's not. He don't have, because they didn't want him at 147, and we all know why they didn't want him at 147 then. Boots was still there. Oh, no, he's fine. He's perfectly fine. And now they're saying he can't make 147, and they're willing to admit it was always hard for him to make because he's a big dude. And he spent way too much time at 135. He should have been up. His body been screaming to go up for a while. That's why he didn't get to spend that much time at 140, and he might not have that much time at 147. If we being real, as he gets older, once he hit that 30 mark, I don't see him being able to do.
You think he ain't gonna be able to cut to 47? He ain't that big now.
I think he'll be cutting, but it's gonna be a cut. Like I said, he still has. All I'm saying is he still has to cut to 147. It's not extremely comfortable.
Well, it's like he's gonna have to be at 47 the next 3 years at least.
I don't give him 3 years, but maybe if you give him 3 years, who knows? I mean, I don't know. I say that because of this. Okay, so we didn't get to see the weigh-in, right? Because he has those fake weigh-ins. I know the last gentleman on your channel argued me down about it, but he does have a real weigh-in and he has a fake weigh-in. We have not been able to see Devin actually weigh in, but at the final press conference, and him and Norman looked a little dry. When I was looking at Devin, he just looked less worse than he had previously, but he didn't look. He still looked. Like, how did he look to y'all at the press conference the day before the weigh-in? How did he look?
I could tell
He
that
just looked like he was cutting weight, you know.
Yeah, he looked like he cut weight.
Right, but if you're moving, normally if you're the guy moving up, you can barely tell.
Right.
You're the guy moving up, and I can still tell that you're cutting a considerable amount of weight. Now, it's bad. He didn't look like Thriller as previous, but he still looked as dry as the guy who's been there. That's normally not the case.
But look how big he was.
I know. So what I'm saying is, and he might be fine with it. I'm saying as your body starts getting older and all in weight cuts, it could. I think he'll be at 140. He could make 147 longer because he's not as hard. But as you get older, your body change. That's why I say Tank really is a 135 pounder. The man is 31, and you weighing 133. That's telling you what you really are right there. And you don't. And he don't look starving. He don't look depleted. He's doing backflips at 133. He's fine, right?
Yep.
They're not. I've never. How many people can say they can do backflips and move around and all playful and stuff?
That's
That's not what I'm saying. If you, meanwhile, look at Boots when he made 147. Right? They're saying, "Oh, he's so big." Boots wasn't looking that bad at 147 weight cuts.
No, he was. Them last two.
That last one, yeah, but it took a while. But he looked. But I don't think Boots. I think the last one he looked a little. I don't think he looked that bad. And he's still
going. Let me see. Look up Boots weight cut. I seen some.
And there's nothing too. When they start talking, if you can hear it, like you can hear it, that dryness, like they're all.
They words be slurring.
Yeah, they be like that raspiness. Boots still sounded like Boots, and that's what I'm saying. And Boots is a big guy, but that's what I'm saying. Like I'm not saying I think Devin will be there for a while. He can do it for a while, but we're about to find out if all that. Oh, it's about the competition. We're about to find out if that's real or not, right? Because y'all
girl is not girl. I'm here to tell you right now, Drew. Like for real, you make valid points. But I'm here to tell you right now, the sweetest division right now, sweetest, is 147. And this is going to get Devin's name. I'm trying to tell you that what they're rebuilding this kid. So what they're going or man. So what they're about to do is set it up as if everybody is ducking him. That he is the change now. I mean, he's all of this in the bag of chips again. So they're basically rebranding his image. And if the rumors are true, if Turkey invested $36 million into Dev, 12 per fight, if these are the true rumors, then obviously they're going to have to do that so that he can be positioned. But one of those fight deals, 9 times out of 10, is going to end with Ryan Garcia. So, of course, he finna take a gimme fight. You know what I'm saying? And then the third fight will be with Ryan Garcia. That's how this is about to go. It ain't
we can't
that moving
depend
up to
on Ryan
154 and
You can't really depend on the Ryan Garcia fight because you can't definitively say if Ryan Garcia gonna keep winning.
No, to be honest with you, I think Ryan Garcia, I think it's gonna be a good. I think actually Ryan Garcia versus Barrios is a great fight on paper, but I think I'm giving the edge to Ryan in that fight due to his quickness. And because I don't think Mario Barrios will really be able to hang with Ryan Garcia in that lane. And then afterwards, in the summertime, we should get Devin versus Ryan unless something happens.
I mean, you never know what Ryan gonna come in there doing. That's my thing with Ryan. He one step above Tio, if you ask me, as far as reliability is concerned and how he gonna perform. And that's even hard to say because he usually just knocks people out. But even with that, it's still like, you ain't got no tell. You don't know what the hell Ryan gonna have going on. And I would feel better about them fighting if it wasn't always contingent on who wins and who loses. Like, if I lose, like, what does that have to do with me and you rematching? I feel like that don't have anything to do with it. If they were like, we gonna rematch no matter what, then I'd be like, okay, cool. But it's always if Ryan win, if I win, if Ryan win, if I win. Like, how many times we got to do that before y'all just fight? Like,
but you also got to remember too, 2 cents. Ryan Garcia, and this is where he needs to be careful. Ryan Garcia is also involved in a situation with Oscar De La Hoya, and is now reaching this point. Ryan came out and spoke about it a few days ago, and stated that he doesn't want to fight for Oscar anymore. He's done with Golden Boy. So I'm not sure if that means after this fight. I'm not sure if that means after Devin fight was gonna go on, because y'all know how them contracts go. But that's another, it appears, a wrench in the plans if this goes on. And as we all know, Ryan and Oscar been going at it for the past couple years now.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's why I don't even know if this Barrios fight gonna happen because Oscar don't want that either. Oscar don't want Ryan fighting Barrios.
I think he wants the Barrios fight, to be honest with you, because that's setting him up. Two Hispanic fighters. That's setting him up for the Zordo versus David Benavidez. I think he'll make that fight.
Well,
Yeah,
because they were saying that they don't even. Oscar was saying he don't even know why Ryan announced that fight like that.
Yeah, I think that there's been a power struggle with. It seems to be a power struggle with Ryan and Oscar for years now. Ryan is just like, I'm gonna do what the heck I want to do when I want to do it, and it is what it is. I don't think the fight itself is the problem. I think that like it's on Oscar likes running things on his terms, and that's I don't know if it's the Barrios fight in particular. But that's a whole other conversation. But anyway, that picture you just posted, 2 cents. The reason I posted that picture, I was just trying to show that photo to say this. This was at the weigh-in with him versus Karen Kukadajian. Okay, so I know that he was lean, and I know this wasn't his very last fight at 147, but just for context, this was last year, right? Do you notice that you don't see his cheekbones protruding? I can still say, even when he made this weight versus Karen Kukadajian, to me, he looked better than Devin did making weight for Norman.
I can agree. I agree with that.
That tells me a lot, because even though we consider Boots a bigger man and all this was his face making weight for Karen Kukadajian. And if I recall, this was a real weigh-in. Maybe it was one of those fake ones, but I believe this was a real weigh-in, if I recall correctly. Like, it wasn't ceremonial. He's lean, but he don't look super dry. You don't see his cheekbones. You don't see, yes, he's lean. Like, I expect you to look like that. He don't look like an extra in Thriller. The fact that Boots can make 147 that long, and this is, if I recall, was this before this before the unification. So that means he also had a rehydration limit the next morning.
Yep.
And you mean tell me, so, and this is like his, I don't know, up-team fight at 147. Meanwhile, Devin's first fight at 147, I saw his cheekbones more than I see Boots's. And it's like his up-team 20 or something fight at 147. That's what I'm talking about. Devin didn't look this good at his first fight at 147 weigh-in, and and it was ceremonial. Tell me if I'm wrong.
I think that,
right.
but
I'm trying to get this picture of Devin. Hold on, go ahead.
But I think that, I think what they're about to do now that this is a higher weight class, I think they're gonna have to get that science together, because one thing about it, it does count on who is in your team, who's in your corner, and Bozy Ennis is a heck of a coach. I mean, we could pretty much argue that Bozy Ennis is a more superior coach to Bill Haney, and so I think how you condition and your nutrition and all that definitely plays a role. And I'm not sure what was going on with Devin, but again, Boots didn't start out at no lower weight class like Devin did. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's pretty much fought in that stratosphere, whereas Devin, he's blows up to 168, 170, and had to shrink down 30 some pounds to make 135.
Right. And that's what I'm saying, Key, because he's fought at the lower weight divisions, right? And that's like we were comparing Spence and Earl earlier. Because you're coming from lower divisions, you moving up, and this is my whole point, as you move up, you're supposed to be moving up. Like, the whole point of praising you for moving up to a new division is that you're taking on a challenge, because you are what would assumably be the smaller guy fighting this bigger guy, right? You're the smaller guy. So when you reach a new weight limit, you should have wiggle room or be more comfortable or look more comfortable. The fact that you're not, the fact that a guy who's been making 147 for years still looks better than you on the scale, and he had a real weigh-in, Then you look at a ceremonial weigh-in, and he had a limit the next day. That's what I'm saying. That makes it even worse, because you're coming up in weight. You should not be looking dried out and crazy at the weigh-in. That tells me you really are big. And that's why I say, yes, he can fight for 147, but for a minute he will. But I will not be surprised if he needs to go to 154. Just like the second he got to 140, he had 2 fights and had to go up. It's because he squeezed down for so many years.
That stuff catch up to you, man.
He truly is the size of Boots. Him and Boots is the same size. Oh, he acting like he's just as small. Yet the difference is Boots didn't do all that squeezing down. That's the only difference. Because Boots right there at 147, he made that weight for Karen. He don't look sick. He don't like an extra in Thriller. I don't see his cheekbones protruding. Now that very last weigh-in, I see why Boots was saying that. But
that stuff gonna catch up to you though. All that cutting, one of them fights. Because he was already kind of looking crazy. In the Ryan fight, he said he had a bad weight cut. All his fights at 140, he said he had bad weight cuts.
I mean, but he got he had the snack poke. He got all these different. Devin got like so many like OGs in his camp. Like again, this man, he's the godson of what's his name, of Zab. He got the right people on the scene. So I'm not worried about his weight cuts too much. I'm just saying that when I say that I'm not surprised at his size. Like I'm noticing that, and I noticed that because I'm watching fights with my dad, and I told him it's a particular division. He's always shocked, like what? Because my dad's older, and he's always like, what? Like this is not how this division looked in my day. Like it's overnight to him because he's always so like amazed.
What do you mean? Like they look smaller or bigger?
No, he's saying like he can't believe that these guys. Like when I told him, okay, this is a lightweight fight, he's like, what? They lightweight? I thought they was like welters or middleweights. In his mind, he keep like every fight he's doing because in my day, this is not what these guys look like. And he's always like, what are they doing? He always saying it, and that's what made me pay attention. He like, I said, this is one time we watched some fight. I said, this is 130. He like, you got to be lying to me. I'm like, no, it really is. He like, what? Like, no, that can't be, because he's used to watching fights and he knows what a middleweight body look like, what a lightweight body look like. And he's looking at like, he just can't. He's always he brings it up every time we watch a fight together.
Yeah, he be heat, man.
Because he's like, what the hell happened to boxing in the last 10, 15 years?
Man, they ain't got new tricks of the trade.
Yeah,
and then, I think it's strange for Devin to say, well, cutting down that weight was hurting me. And so I'm like, well, why are you doing it then? Why are you doing it? Fight after fight after fight after fight.
Because it's again, no one's doing anything without an advantage. Because that's the case. And think about it. If people was that thorough, we got somebody who gets on my nerves personally, but in the ring, he's him. And that is Floyd Mayweather. And one thing Floyd Mayweather did was fight close to his weight, his actual weight, his whole career. And I think that's what sustained him and made him a better fighter, because he wasn't doing all them weight tricks.
Yeah.
And so if you really, you can do, if you really want to be like Floyd, you can do that. But the fact that they're not doing that and they're like, oh, I got to do all these weight cuts, you're doing it because you feel like you need to. And that's how you pack on, oh, I got these multi-divisions because, yeah, you were fighting 135-pounders because you can squeeze down and then rehydrate up. But they can't rehydrate up because they don't have the body, they don't have the build that you have.
And you know who else I think is going to catch up to, who actually fights in December? Inoue. Because they were talking about how Inoue was starting to get cramps and he was having issues with getting cramps and stuff. And I was like, maybe he's like cutting that weight too much, and maybe he's possibly overtraining. And on top of, they've started drug testing out there now.
Yeah, in a way, I will say this, even though in a way, I would love to see Inoue and Tank next to each other, because I I keep seeing it like Inouye's 5'5". They saying Manny Pacquiao's 5'5", Tank's 5'5". Now I know Tank lying. I know you ain't no 5. I don't know who's really 5'5", but I know they ain't the same height, right? But even though I still don't want like the people saying, "Oh, we want to see Inoue and Tank," I don't. Y'all know, but I want to see it. But Inoue is, I do think Inoue is like much bigger than the division he's fighting in. But who knows? And all I'm saying is like no one goes out their way. No one was looking like that on scale. And I see people in the chat like, "Oh, it's the same way. It's the same way. It's before and then." That's a lie. You will not find anyone. Go back to HBO boxing and those weigh-ins and all that, and what they weighed the next day. People were not 20 something pounds bigger the next day. It just wasn't happening. Go back and look at it. I got screenshot. Well, I have to go into my archives. They were not doing that, and they were not looking like extras in a Thriller video at the weigh-in. They weren't. They just weren't. I'm sorry. But yeah, Inoue is big. Inoue hydrates too, and that's fine to hydrate if that's what you want to do. But like, I'm not gonna give you. I'm not gonna give as much respect to someone who's actually moving up, actually taking a challenge by moving up, and they are the smaller guy. But if you're moving up and you're bigger than everybody, you moving up every single division. Do I care that you moved up? Do I give you some extra credit? No. I'm not giving. No, I don't.
They not there to be great, Juke.
No, that's like me saying, "Hey, I'm fighting. Hey, last week, let's say I'm 5'8", 150 pounds, and yeah, I fought a 135 pounder, and now I'm moving up to fight someone who's actually my weight. I know. Let me give you a freaking credit."
Key with the T, what you got?
I mean, but I do think that I do agree. I think it's going to impact a lot. With Inoue, Bam Rodriguez is now talking about moving up. Because I mean we know that he hydrates to 145, and there's nothing. Look, as long because I keep hearing people saying or keep seeing people say in the chat, they're making weight. That's not our argument. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're literally just looking at, how these guys are making weight and their structures and the physicality and everything else. The good thing about it with Inoue and Bam is that they've been able to clean out their divisions, pretty much, and are reigning supreme in their divisions. But that question is always going to be there. Okay, once Inoue move up, what's going to happen? You know what I'm saying? Once Bam move up, what's going to happen? A lot of people are calling on Bam and Inoue to fight. That's a great fight. But again, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think that'll be what, 1 or 2 weight classes for Bam to move up in. For people to feel as though he is daring to be great. And it's like, come on, man. Like, how hasn't he been great this whole time? You know what I'm saying? Like, what are we doing? And a lot of people are still not sold on Bam for some odd reason. But one thing about it, we're all gonna have our opinions because I see what y'all saying in the chat. Boxing Hacker and Hannibal has been going off for 2 hours. But and I get what y'all are saying and everything, but nobody up here feels as though you know what I'm saying, that Devin or Boots is scared of fighting each other. What we're saying is that first of all, I'm pretty sure I know two since I'm pretty sure Jupe 2 will pick Boots to win, but again, it wasn't a duck on Boots' side, and that Devin can move up to 154 to fight him. Now you guys are saying, let him fight at 147 to get undisputed. That's his prerogative. If he does it, he does it. Don't nobody, you know what I'm saying? Like, what we gonna do? Again, that's one of the most sweetest divisions in boxing is 147. He really has no competition up there. And that goes for if he was to bring up the fighters that he has on his list. Now, I find it very interesting that that the majority of his hit list, or at least what Bill Haney is saying, consists of people in lower weight classes. when he has the opportunity to clear out 147 with just a little patience. Because as we know, with the fights that's already lined up, 9 times out of 10, some of these belts about to change hands. You know what I'm saying? Within the next few months. So after the Ryan Garcia fight, since you guys are confident in the Ryan Garcia fight, I'm talking about the people in the chat, his fans, and there's nothing wrong with that. Then I'm sure he'll be able to get the winner of the Lewis Crocker versus his opponent and Rolly and arresting him if that was to happen. Okay, but I do find it interesting that every time we talk about Ryan Garcia, when we were talking about the Devin versus Ryan or upcoming fights, um, y'all automatically go to Boots, somebody in the higher weight division. So I have to, ask the question: do you guys feel confident in the Devin versus Ryan Garcia? Do you guys feel confident that Devin will reign supreme? Because I'm starting to notice that, like,
Thank you.
bring in
I
a fight
said it.
that's, huh?
No, I'm sorry, Queen. I mean to interrupt you, but yeah, I was saying thank you. I said the same thing on KO Chat. Go ahead.
Yeah, because this is the second week in a row that I've seen this over here. That when we start talking about other different matchups, and as soon as we get to Ryan, there's this whole, it's like a shift. And I'm not understanding where that's coming from. I really don't. I don't know. Boxer Hacker said, if all things even, Ryan gonna lose like he lost the last 3 times in the amateurs. Okay. Okay. That's what y'all say. I have
Didn't
to see
Devin
how
also
Ryan
beat? Did
looks.
he beat Devin 3 times in the amateurs boxing hacker? What are you talking
Yeah, I
about?
think they're tied.
They are tied, so boxing hacker be quiet.
Yeah, they were tied in the amateurs, and I said the same thing. I'm just noticing anytime, which to me, that's to be the most important fight because, in my opinion, right? Because especially for Haney fans, right? And I actually think that Haney has a chance to turn it around because yes, we have the Austrian point, right? Which I'm not a chemist, so I'm not gonna pretend to know how much effect Austrian has and what it do and don't. All I know is that he shouldn't have had it in his system, whether it was by contamination, which I have read articles about how even though it's not controlled, like these people put it in and they're using the same factory, whatever. The point is, fine, I got that. Were there other things Haney did that I think he could correct to make that outcome differently? Absolutely, yes. Actually, I think it's more of that than anything else, maybe. But I would love to see that. And so, what's getting me, this was really getting me. We spent the last few months of everyone telling us the only rematch everybody kept talking about was Tank and Roach, which to me, I had Tank winning, but it was a draw. I wasn't too mad about that. Okay, I can see that because that Tank let it go. Everybody, oh, he got to rematch him. Rematch. How can he not rematch him? He's a punk of him. Rematch him. But meanwhile, Devin got his ass whooped, and y'all not pressing for the rematch. Y'all not pressing for your get back. Because I'd be mad. What? Y'all should be like teed off. Like what? And you tested positive, and you supposed to like. Where's the fire? Where's the like? Oh no, we got to get that back. We got to beat. Where is that? I don't see any of that fire. And anytime we bring it up, they start bringing up guys at 135.
No, because I'm trying to because they're changing his image. Listen, the
But no,
majority of
you
boxing.
can't be Debo Dev. You can't be Debo Dev. It's really Debo. You can't be Debo Dev and let someone get a one up like that on you, and then talk about Tank. Yeah, Tank and Roach got a rematch, and just like Tank, just like Devin and Ryan, they had a pre-professional back and forth, right? Actually, Devin and Ryan's go deeper. They fought like 6 times, but also Tank and Roach, Tank. And that's why I give Tank respect for taking that fight too, because apparently Roach has always been a little bit difficult for him, right? Stylistically, He took the fight anyway. Gave him that.
Well, I think they Yeah, what was I finna say? No, go ahead. I forgot what I was finna say.
I think Tank won the fight in the amateurs, but Roach complained, whatever. But it's always been like a contentious, like skill wise, right?
Oh, I think they were trying to say basically once Ryan lost to Rolly, then they're like, oh, see, there's no point in trying to hurry up and fight him. He lost to Rolly and Rolly's trash. So if he can lose to Rolly and Rolly's trash, why should Devin be trying to hurry up and rematch?
I remember that. Know what? 2 Cent, I remember that. But that's what's so funny about that narrative, because it went from what he tragically lost to Rolly to, oh, Devin should fight the trash Rolly. What?
Yeah, that's true.
It's crazy. Wait. Y'all don't have to rematch. You don't have to rematch Ryan because he lost to Rolly. But you want to fight because Rolly's trash. But we should also get credit for fighting Rolly, the trash guy that fought the trash guy that beat me because he was on PEDs. What? It's insane. It's insane.
It's crazy work.
Meanwhile, we don't know what's going to happen with Roach and Pitbull, but they're still saying Tank got to fight Pitbull no matter what. I mean, got to fight Roach no matter what. Matter of fact, Tank has been, people have been asking for Tank to rematch Pitbull because he went the distance with him. And that's to show you the bar. Tank can't even go the distance with somebody without them asking for a rematch. Devin can have all distance fights, all UDs, whatever. Tank gets a UD, nope, you gotta rematch it. It's crazy.
Key with the T, what you got?
I think I agree, but I think with again, this goes into my theory that what they're attempting to do is change the image of Devin from the Dream to Devin. I'm trying to figure out why you call him Debo, because I thought you called him Depo, like the birth control. So I'm like,
they spelled it Debo, Key. That's how they spelled it on the shirt.
Isn't it D? Oh, I didn't even notice.
Yes, Key. Let me find it.
Oh, so they spelled his name. They spelled Debo wrong.
Key, are you serious?
I wasn't even really paying attention like that. Like, I just know that people were calling. I wasn't even paying it. Like, what was it, like on a backpack or something?
No, it was on show you, Bill Haney's shirt.
Yo, for real? Wait a minute. Okay. So maybe it's copyrighted. Maybe that's why they had to do it. Maybe Tiny Lister or Ice Cube and them have that copyrighted or something. Or trademarked. Well, yeah. So, but I think because after that, again, that Ryan Garcia fight was very telling, especially everything that went afterwards. That lawsuit just got settled. A lot, with him suing and everything, the image around Devin was that he was soft. Oh my God. Why? Who ain't? Why they didn't tell him? Why?
Debo.
Why? Where's the other E?
Debo.
Debo.
And no one in his camp said, "Hey, pull him to the side before he got on that stage."
Maybe it's trademarked. That's the only thing I could, because that's really silly. It's an E missing. I hope that they did that because it's trademarked or something, because that don't
make it spell right.
No, that Bill and them was tripping with that one. Now, why did you do that to that boy?
Like that.
And he wasn't selling the shirts. He could have put Debo. He's not selling them.
Right. That looks ridiculous.
Well, I think with this image after the,
we call it for what it is, Key. It's illiterate.
Yeah, it's illiterate. So I think because a lot of people had this idea of Devin being soft, and so with him doing this, fighting the quote unquote best at 147 and Brian Norman Jr., that would have put him that is the Debo or the Debo Haney. So they're in this field of reconfiguring Devin's narrative of who he's going to be moving forward. So the chain snatcher, the person that you're going to have to fight. But remember, in Friday, Debo got met by Craig at the end.
Got hit
so you got to be careful because that
But
can
see,
also
but you can
change it
say
up.
all of that. You can say all of that. You can
Change it
say
up.
all of that. You can say all of that. But you landing 70 punches in a fight, like that's not like that's a contradicting image you got going on right there. Debo was knocking people out. Like you're not knocking nobody out. Like come on, the nigga ain't
But
gonna
Tank
even
has
look
a low,
pissed.
but Tank has a low output when he fights. But you know what? How was his connection percentage? Because even though Tank doesn't
26,
throw
25
much,
percent.
okay. Well, I
Yeah,
tried,
the
y'all.
difference is
Boxing
that
Hacker, I tried. I tried
well,
Boxing Hacker, y'all.
I will say you're right. You're absolutely right that Tank has a low output, meaning he doesn't throw as many punches, but he's the most accurate puncher in all of boxing based on stats. He's the most accurate. But not only that, even despite him being the most accurate, he was still criticized for his low output. That's been a big criticism of him for years, even by Haney fans. So now the fact that they're saying 70 is enough, and remember, and then when he's getting these low outputs, the low outputs are fights that are not going 12.
Remember, he's losing. He's losing until he get the knockout. Remember.
Right, and remember, he the reason why he has a low output is he does start slow sometimes, but remember these fights are not going 12. To get this low output going 12 every time is insane. I'm sorry, I'm not trying to be funny. Tank does have low output, but
It's not a 12 round.
but they're rarely going 12.
Facts. And his percentage of landing is higher.
Right. He's up
Yeah, he has a higher connect percentage.
yeah. Yeah.
Why they let this man miss the E? Like, that is so irritating to me right now.
Once you see it,
Because
right,
it's
don't it make
illiterate.
you itches like why?
It's illiterate, y'all. It's killing us.
Oh, they slow. Oh God, Bill. I hope they
They
did that on
slow.
purpose. I hope they did that on purpose. I really do. I hope that it was
They probably
trademarked.
they wouldn't have picked them shirts up. They was like, Mr. Haney. He was like, yeah. They was like, your shirts are ready. He was like, Debo Dev, let's go. The shirt's ready, baby. They got in the car. They drove down to the t-shirt place. They picked them up.
You said your shirt's ready.
But do you know what? And Boxing Hacker said nobody would care about a Pitbull rematch. If I beg to differ. I
Yeah,
beg
they're
to
asking for
differ,
it.
and I will say that if Pitbull beats Lamont Roach, man, that'll be one of the biggest fights of 2026.
Okay,
It
so
will.
let's
Trying
talk
to tell
about that
you.
fight, ladies. Let's talk
You
about that fight, ladies. This was the main topic of the night. The Pitbull Lamont Roach fight. Let's give some preliminary thoughts because we're gonna meet again
Mm,
next Friday and give our
mm.
final thoughts on the Pitbull Lamont Roach fight. How do y'all see that fight going?
Jupe, you go first because I'm gonna say something real controversial.
oh my goodness. I don't know. This is a good one. This is a good one because okay. I looking at their build already, like I heard today that they had a so I guess with WBC they have these 14-day and then 7-day weight checks, right? I don't know if you
Yes.
heard about that. Did y'all hear about that today?
Yeah, Roach was 148.
Yeah, so technically Roach was over the threshold, but they let it slide.
Mm-hmm.
So Roach is bigger than what he's supposed to be, and he's already heavier than Pitbull.
Mm-hmm. Is he trying to pull a Keyshawn Davis? That's the question.
Right,
Is
right.
he trying to pull a Keyshawn?
Y'all, I think he can cut that weight. They fight Saturday.
Yeah, they can cut it, but according to WBC, you have you're supposed to be like 5% or something below. Basically, he's supposed to be below 147, 14 days out from the fight. He was 148, almost 149. So he's beyond that weight threshold. But the WBC established these rules without setting up actual like a punishment or stipulations, like to say, oh, so if someone blows it, they blows it, basically. That's a problem. So he blew that. Okay. Pitbull was below that limit. He wasn't. So that's already showing me. And then looking at Roach looks real big. So okay, and then I got to think about it stylistically. Okay, stylistically, Pitbull wants to come forward. He wants to make himself a very small target, kind of like tuck it in very tightly, and just kind of go for and punch, but make himself a small target. Lamont Roach is also a counter puncher. Because he's a counter puncher, that works for him with Pitbull's style of wanting to like go at you and be aggressive. And he's a fighter who likes to use your aggression against you. So that could benefit Lamont Roach. The problem is that I think that Pitbull might throw the faster combinations. So, and there are going to be moments that Lamont might want to dip in and out, but Lamont does not work as well off the back foot if he ever needs to back up. Right? So that's why I think this fight's going to be so action-packed, because Lamont is good, but he's not good when he's moving and punching, but neither is Pitbull. So they have some similar deficiencies, but I think Lamont is a better counter puncher, which is kind of can help you with Pitbull. The only problem is that Pitbull makes himself such a small target. He makes it hard to get to his body without you having to overreach. So that's why I think this fight is going to be so good. If I had to lean anyone right now, I'm going to lean, of course, Roach. I think he's a more skilled guy. But yeah, but that weight is telling. They tell me you trying to come knock some stuff out. So I'm going to go ahead and let Key have it.
Ooh, okay, so I think when I first heard about the weight, I instantly thought of Keyshawn Davis. A lot of people didn't watch the interview that Keyshawn did on Mill City before he fought Baranchek. About 3 weeks out from that fight, Keyshawn, out of his own mouth, had said that he was, I think he said he was 147, 148, and that was a 135 fight. So I'm like, okay, interesting. And then, so that lets me know he wasn't really worried about Baranchek, and we seen what he did to him. And then we all saw what happened between him and De Los Santos a few months ago, where, you feel me, it got turned up. You know what I'm saying? People got jumped and everything else. Babies was hollering. Things, went down in the VA. So, and he pulled that move with his weight. And De Los Santos team was smart, because they said H to the L. No, we not HE double L. We not doing that one today. And that fight was called off. Now, what I look at, so I'm thinking that, okay, Lamont either is incredibly smart or incredibly passive. He's taking Pitbull lightly, right? That he's playing these weight games. But when I think of Pitbull resume for somebody of comparable size to Lamont Roach, I think of Giovanni Cabrera, my model. If you guys have followed me, y'all know that Giovanni Cabrera is one of my GQ models, meaning that he looks like a freaking model. He doesn't look like he should be fighting at all, in my opinion. And in that fight, what I seen 2 years ago was Giovanni's length, his jab keeping Pitbull at bay, and he actually dropped Pitbull in that fight too. And a lot of people felt like Pitbull lost that fight. You know what I'm saying? And that's when we were getting the rumblings of a Pitbull versus Tank Davis part 2. But when he looked that bad, it kind of got shot down, right? So I think about that fight. And then I also think about El Rayo. When he fought El Rayo last year, and what was going on. So El Rayo, I'm not saying that he's as tall and as big as Lamont Roach. What I'm saying is a different type of skill set, a different type of look. Because where Pitbull had problems with both El Rayo and Giovanni Cabrera, William Zepeda picked off Giovanni Cabrera. You feel me? Like that pressure, I think he knocked him out like what, in the 4th or 5th round or something like that. And then El Rayo ends up losing, right? Um, his I think it was his next fight after that. If I'm not mistaken, one of the fights he didn't look right.
Breaks be on my phone.
Exactly. So I'm looking at these styles that give Pitbull problems. And what I saw with Tank in that fight, between them two was a beautiful masterclass. I don't know what people thought of that he lost that fight. That was a beautiful masterclass in my opinion. Performance, or at least a great performance. If you don't like the word masterclass, it was a great performance in my opinion. But Tank had defense for Pitbull Cruz and can trade with him. So I say all of that to say with these fights with Pitbull, and then last fight is Lamont Roach versus Hector Garcia. A couple years ago when he won the belt that he has now, if I'm not mistaken. What I seen with that fight, Hector Garcia was giving Lamont trouble, but it was the deciding factor was that knockdown, which was controversial because a lot of people felt like that was a rabbit punch behind the head.
But
Right,
my
it
question,
was.
but this is my
It was.
question. It was a
Not,
rabbit punch behind the head. But this is my question about Pitbull, right? And Lamont Roach.
mm-hmm.
I feel like I want to be like, oh, you know, Pitbull. I mean, Lamont Roach should be able to use a jab, stay disciplined, use his footwork. But I feel like I don't feel like Lamont Roach fights like that.
No, so and that's what I was getting at because in that fight, Hector Garcia had Lamont Roach a few times on the ropes and everything, and it was hard for Lamont Roach. Every time I look at Lamont Roach fight, it's always it's some with his eyes, like it look like he be in pain or something. I don't know what it is. But here's my controversial take for this fight with those styles that I'm looking at, the fights I'm gonna go back and watch to give my definitive answer by Friday. But for a preliminary answer, and this might sound crazy, I got Pitbull. I think that with the two styles with El Rayo and with what's his name, Giovanni Cabrera, I think what we saw, especially with that Rolly fight, I know Rolly did better than what we give him credit for, or what people give him credit for. But I think that he's catching on because Rolly is comparable to an El Rayo, and El Rayo gave him fits in that ring. Then we have to know of that one Hispanic guy that Pitbull just fought, and he came out swinging. And then what ended up happening, he gassed and he was catching Pitbull, you know what I'm saying, in the later rounds. And Pitbull again, it wasn't a draw. I think it was a majority decision, if I'm not mistaken, or something like that, against Old Boy. I think what's going to be different this time, and this might sound crazy, the preliminary, this is just preliminary, y'all. I think Pitbull is going to be able to rush and add pressure to Lamont Roach. You know what I'm saying? Now, will Lamont Roach be able to catch him? Yes, but Pitbull head is like caved in. I can't describe it, where he ain't got no neck or shoulders. Like he got a weird body. So the way that he's gonna, like, Lamont, is his best bet is to fight Pitbull Cruz on the inside. You know what I'm saying? And try to keep him at bay. But that relentless pressure that Hector Garcia gave him in that fight was giving Lamont Roach fits. You know what I'm saying? And again, if it wasn't for that knockdown, we could have been looking at a draw. So I'm looking at that. So far, I think I'm giving the edge to Pitbull by a split decision or a majority decision win. I'm not sure yet. I'll have all my answers on Friday, but I'm thinking that that relentless pressure, and if I'm them, I'm working on, because if Pitbull is already within that threshold of the 14 days, I know that he's taking this seriously. You know what I'm saying? And I think they know what's
Pitbull
up
is
next.
small though.
Huh?
Pitbull is small though.
I know
feel
that's
like
small.
Pitbull is too small for one fight anyway.
I know, but that pressure though, 2 cents. That pressure
Depends on
is
that
a
power.
lot.
If that power is messing with Lamont Roach, like he's gonna have to destroy Lamont Roach's body. Like he's going to have to. That's what I would tell him. I'd be like, listen, we're gonna kill this guy's body. So he won't be able to do all that moving around in this boxing and footwork and all of that. That shit not gonna matter. He's gonna be standing right there in front of you, and you can hook after hook after hook after hook, because Lamont Roach can fight on the inside and he can catch and shoot with you. So I'm like, how effective is that gonna be?
But look at what he did. Go back and watch that Hector Garcia fight, y'all. It's I swear it's free on PBC. Go watch it on the website. Like I saw some things in there, and if we look at the Tank versus Lamont fight, right? Back that just happened several months ago. Tank had him when he was on the outside, but on the inside, he also did well too. And with that pressure, he just for some odd reason let off the gas. You feel me? So that's what makes me think like, okay, it's something about pressure with Lamar Rose. This is a great fight. It's a you can say it's 50-50. I wouldn't be like, again, I might change my decision once I go back and watch, because there is a fight that Lamont Roach had on Pro Box last year that I got to go back and watch again. I think he got the KO against Old Boy. So I'm gonna go back and watch that one too. Just to make sure. I wouldn't be surprised if Lamont Roach was to win this fight. That's how good it is. But it's something about this pressure with me with Lamont Roach. Like and I'm wondering if he's going to pull a Keyshawn Davis in that Barinchek fight to push his weight on Pitbull Cruz to be that bigger fighter. I could see him doing that too.
I was on mute. That could go either way. How good is his conditioning gonna be? Could Pitbull take him into deep waters and knock his ass out, since he got all this weight he putting on and moving up all these weight classes, fight after fight after fight? You gotta think at some point that's gonna catch up to him.
Yeah, and Key, you got some good points, and I can see that too. And like you said, I also need to go back and look at the film also, because now I'm thinking about it. Okay, I'm trying to think of who has fought what styles, and I do think that maybe, and it could be just be my ignorance on Lamont, but now I'm thinking about it. I have seen Pitbull fight like a boxer. I remember he fought Thomas Matisse. Thomas Matisse. He fought this Matisse cat who can box. Like
Yeah, you right about that.
You remember that fight? Okay.
Yep.
And that was his first experience. We'll have to fight someone who got movie legs. He fought some other pressure fighters. He tends to come out on top. Rayo gave him problems. We got other problems.
Cabrera beat him. Cabrera
gave him problems. So yes, he lost, but he does have the experience, right? Without too much damage to himself. Now, if I'm looking at Roach, you're right. I'm trying to think, has Roach ever fought a pressure fighter? Because like Tank really didn't pressure him. Tank boxed in the beginning of the fight and then kind of mixed it up in the middle with him, but he really didn't like turn on pressure against him. So now I'm trying to think, have I seen Lamont fight a pressure fighter where he's being pressured? Have y'all or no?
It would be the most similar one would be the Hector Garcia. That's the only one that I could really think off the bat that kind of
war type pressure though.
Right, but it was still something there, and I just be wondering that fight. I wonder, like, man, if Hector would have pushed on the gas, what would have been the outcome?
Yeah, because see, I guess what I'm thinking here is that, okay, this is what I'm thinking. I'm thinking, okay, yes, Pitbull's going to press, right? Pitbull is going to press, and that's fine. But what I'm thinking is that Lamont is really good, like, in close, like he's good mixing it up on the inside. He's really good at counter punching. He's a counter puncher, which is why with Tank, he was trying to wait. They both were trying to force each other to be first. And Tank obliged, which was part of the problem, right? When he was boxing, he did great. When Tank is moving, he couldn't keep up with Tank. Tank sit there and made the fight difficult by trying to like do the one thing that he does really, really well. Tank does it well too, but you made it more competitive fight when you would just kind of keep, what I'm saying, just turn them, bam, walk them into something in the night. My thing is with Pitbull, all Pitbull knows is coming forward. My thing is if all Pitbull knows is going forward, can Roach go backwards? And I'm trying to think of a fight where Roach was on the back foot boxing.
I don't think he can fight off the back foot.
That's my only fear in this fight, right? It's like, if you have, because I know Tank can fight on the back foot. Like, I'll never worry about him being about no pressure fighter. You got to get him forward. I know he got to do all those things. to me, Lamont seems really good when he's like, in the mix with you. And so now I'm just trying to think. I hear what you're saying. Like, I can see Pitbull having the advantage. I get it, Key. The only reason why I have apprehension is because I haven't seen Lamont going to back.
But Rick, is how do you know that Roach is a quote unquote better boxer though?
Like I said, Rich, I favor Lamont as of right now, preliminarily. I'm just saying, if I'm thinking of all the possible scenarios that can happen in the fight, if Pitbull was to put Lamont on the back foot, can Lamont box on the back foot? I'm trying to remember a fight where he did. And I'm drawing a blank. It's not because it didn't happen. It could be because I'm just drawing a blank.
How good would you say Roach's footwork is?
It's good. Roach has a good foundation. I'll never take that away. I have to, but his stance, okay. Okay, Planet, yes.
Do you think Roach has a jab?
No.
He got a jab.
Yeah, he got a jab. You know what? He's you know what? He's a good Roach is a good all-around fighter. I can't take that away from him. He's a good fighter. And then what gets me is the looping shots. I think somebody said, okay, if he going, what if Lamont Roach goes to the body? See, the thing is with that, because of how Pitbull punches, Roach is gonna have to fight. There's gonna come a time where he's gonna have to fight him on the outside, because as we know, we can talk about how trash Pitbull is, but we do know that once Pitbull catch you, he catch you. Like, we can't, you know what I'm saying? That's what made Giovanni Cabrera so tough for him and El Rayo, is because they were able to switch it. You gotta know how to switch it up, and I think Roach will be able to. But again, I haven't seen Roach box backwards like that, you know what I'm saying, on the counter, and just let it flow like a Shakur. You know what I'm saying? That's why I got Shakur. I think low key, if Shakur and Lamont Roach, if they're serious about fighting, I know what 2 Cents gonna say, but if they're serious, 2 Cents, I think Shakur gets Roach. You know what I'm saying? Because Shakur's more fluid in my opinion. But with Pitbull, I think people gonna be a little shocked at how this fight go the way I think it's gonna go.
So how do you think that Pitbull will catch Lamont?
You see anybody getting stopped?
I believe I don't. Now the stop part I don't know, because neither one of them has been stopped, and we know that both of them got chins. So I can't say that Pitbull or Lamont is gonna. Well, if Lamont comes in with the weight advantage, if we hear some more Fugazi stuff with his weight, with Lamont Roach, that's why I told 2 Cents earlier that I got my eye on it. That's very interesting to me.
Girl, just go ahead and tell it right now. Lamont is absolutely gonna have the weight advantage. He got it right.
Exactly.
He's about to lose it. He's gonna be bigger.
Right, but but at the same time though, again, Pitbull has been going up and up and down and down. You know, he up at this weight this time, and the next weight he down. So, and they both have had.
Pitbull has been consistently 140 for like at least 2 years now, hasn't he?
No, I think he came back down to 135, didn't he?
When?
Or am I tripping?
With who?
No. Maybe he has been at 140. So he's been between 135 and 140. He was at 135, then he went up to 140. Now Lamont Roach has been playing around with the weight. He can go up and down, as we know, fluidly. Oh, you know who I'm thinking about? El Rayo. El Rayo was at 140, then 135, 140, 135. So that's what I'm thinking about. But I think that people will be shocked. I like how I think. I wouldn't be surprised if Roach catch Pitbull coming in and knock him out, you know what I'm saying, or put him down. And I wouldn't be surprised if Pitbull corners Lamont Roach and put him in the corner and get the going crazy and have to hurry up and clutch him up, like what Rolly had to do. You feel me? Or if Lamont Roach can weather that storm within the first 5 rounds, let Pitbull get tired like that Hispanic dude did a few months back, and then start boxing with them. You know what I'm saying? Like there's different ways that this can go. But I'm going to again preliminary. I'm favoring the pressure of Pitbull. But next week I'll have it because there's a couple of fights still that I want to watch Lamont Roach next week. Throughout this week.
All right, all right. Now we're gonna give our final. Don't listen. We ain't give our final predictions today. We just gave some rough draft ideas. Come back next Friday before we get to see the fight. We're gonna give our final predictions. Listen, we came through with the Devin Haney Brian Norman fight. Y'all might want to get to listening. Y'all might want to start listening. Key with the T. What do you think about this right here that I just put on your screen? It says His Excellency Turki Al-Sheikh has firmly disputed a recent report that alleged a slowdown of spending on boxing events. Al-Sheikh says the report is 100% not true and made it clear that many surprises will be announced in 2026. Key with the T, what's your 2 cents? What you got on this topic?
Um, well, I mean, where there's smoke, there's fire. I've told you guys of the reports I had, and how I'm not thinking none of this is a coincidence. You know, one thing that I know about what politics has taught me over the years is there's no such thing as a coincidence.
Hold on, Key,
And
I didn't cut you off, Key. Hannibal, what the hell are you talking about in my chat, bro? I'm about to time you out for this comment.
they've been cutting up. But
Y'all tripping, man. If y'all gonna troll in my chat, y'all at least need to support the channel. Go ahead, Key.
So what I do find interesting about this is at the after all the reports have came out about Dana White's woes. Dana got some issues going on with some investigations, as we all know about, with illegal betting. And if I'm not mistaken, there's something else too. With
Wait,
copyrights,
the
huh?
antitrust lawsuit?
Yes, the antitrust lawsuit. Yep. So he got a lot going on. And so it was also revealed. Now, as we know, last week or about 2 weeks ago, the King of Saudi, or the Prince of Saudi Arabia, MBS, came out here with Trump and said that he was going to invest $1 trillion into America, basically a bailout. But when, the nitty gritty came out, people were scratching their head as in, how is this going to work? And so one of the key endeavors was sports. It didn't say boxing, it didn't say wrestling, it said sports, and it had that PIF tied to it. Now, interestingly enough, one of the investors into PIF is what I found out is none other than Jared Kushner, Donald Trump's son-in-law, his daughter's husband. And so I'm like, that like sent my antennas up. And then here comes the report saying that Saudi Arabia, not just Turkey, see, and a hit dog a holla, okay? Saudi Arabia PIF is suffering right now financially. Now, the first thing that people say, how this is the oil, they got all the oil, they got $1 trillion, they got all this stuff to throw around. But if you look it up, there's something called the Riyadh Season 2030, or the Saudi Arabia 2030 plan, which is what they want to do to make Saudi Arabia a premier destination tourist spot out there, right? For people to come out there and travel, stay at the hotels and everything else. Now, one of these deals that they also have with the Trump family is hotels. Trump just signed a hotel deal with the Saudi Arabia family, and they just signed a Maldives deal as well, where they will be using tokenization or something like that. Basically, like I think crypto, really tapping into that. Now, what does all this have to do with boxing and the struggles and everything else? Well, I'll tell you what these reports that's coming out. The main question that these reporters, these investigative journalists, are asking, both in Saudi, both when as it pertains to Saudi Arabia and with the Trump family, is where is this money coming from? Okay, that's why I said a hit dog a holla. Where's this money coming from? Because there are some assets that's already been invested that they're not seeing a return on. One of them includes the EA Sports deal. Now, I thought that the EA Sports deal was done, but when I did some digging, the EA Sports deal won't be completed, return on it, until 2027. Okay, like I was like, whoa, okay, that's pretty major. And then with the rest of the hotel deals in the destination sports area, including the Trump Hotel and everything else, those won't be done for the next couple of years, and the Maldives won't be done, and so forth and so on. So basically, what they're putting out there is that the funds are not necessarily low, but they're frozen up, like they got their hands in so many pots. Okay. And so it's like, okay, which one are you willing to
You
let
remember?
go?
Come on, Key. Not to cut you off, but you remember when you was like, "Oh, they making a movie, they doing," and I was like, "Key,
Yes,
they're doing way too much. How are they going to succeed in any of this? They
exactly. And
don't. They're
so,
not
yep,
experts in all these industries like this to just be throwing
exactly.
all this money into these different industries. Like it didn't make any sense what they were doing.
Exactly. And so, and then the big thing, because again, people keep saying oil, 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 oil. Okay, well, what's going to happen if Iran overtakes Saudi Arabia as far as oil reserves? We already know that Venezuela has more oil reserves than what Saudi Arabia do. Or what about with the things that's going on between Russia and Ukraine, and how countries are bypassing and throwing the bottom dollar at Russia still, even though they've been sanctioned? And what about the technology that China is working on to basically wean countries off of oil with their technology? They
Absolutely.
had
We're doing wind and solar and other clean alternatives.
exactly. So what Saudi Arabia, in my opinion, with all this stuff that I've been reading up on, what they're trying to do is get ahead of that. And but again, like Two Cent said, they have their hands involved in so much. And a lot of those things are frozen, not because there's no money, but because the deadlines have not come yet. So this $1 trillion that Saudi Arabia has said that they're going to invest, this is the second time that they've done this. They did this in Trump's first term. And if you look up those numbers, that 600 billion, or was it 300 billion, some crazy number that they said back then in like 2017, it only came out to be, once Trump was done, was about $8 billion. It was nowhere near. But Trump did give away six of our maritime ports in America to Saudi Arabia. You understand? So now they coming back like, look, we got it now. We gonna do this, but the numbers aren't there because these deadlines is not until 2027, 2028, and again 2030. So I'm curious to see how they're gonna pull this off, but I'm not surprised to land my plane here. I'm not surprised that Turkey, it appears so far, will be doing a lot of more deals, or at least production work, with the PBC and other companies in conjunction with them, to offset costs. That's what it appears like to me. So that's all I got to say.
All right, let me get Alan Sostan. Shout out to Alan Sostan with the $5 in the super chat. Just showing support to the channel. Sostan, Drew, what's your 2 cents? What you got? Let me say this real quick.
So, okay.
It's real quick. I told y'all so. Go ahead, Drew. What's your 2 cents?
Yeah, I think I everything that Key just said, absolutely on point. And again, like I think when people heard the PIF fund, when that news came out, the reason why people instantly rejected it is because to them, what they're hearing is people saying that, Saudi Arabia ran out of money. That's not what they're saying. It's a PIF fund, which is their public investment fund, right? So it's investments outside of Saudi Arabia to bring everything back to them. And so a part of what Key was saying is about, the Trump family, and we already know the Trump towers. Trump has been involved in hotels for years, right? It's about, and so what they've been trying to do is build an industry of tourism. And that's part of what their investment in boxing was about, right? And before boxing, what did they have? They had soccer. right? They've been investing in different sports, also video gaming, all that. They're trying to build like this technological international hub for sports and entertainment, and that goes into the piece. So they're working with our government to build like this whole like they're doing all these buildings to like kind of make, and they're basically competing with Vegas. They want to be the new Vegas, right? And so that's what they're trying to do. The problem is that although a lot of the Turkey fans are, oh, we love boxing, y'all not taking these flights to go to Saudi Arabia and watch these fights. I don't think it's
wasn't watching them in America. They wasn't even watching them in America, which is why they favorite fighter over there.
Right, but I really think that they thought that people would just travel to Saudi Arabia and watch these fights. I really think that's what they thought. So the audience for these fights, if you know, sometimes a little dry because there are audiences that are not natural audience boxing fans that you're trying to like convert over to boxing fans, and that's what's happening. So the PIF fund, the reason is not that the PIF fund suddenly doesn't have any money. I think that it's the prior. I think the priority has changed.
Let me say this too, y'all, because this never made sense to me, right? Usually when you're a tourist somewhere and you're going there to see an attraction, it's because it's not available to you where you're from, right?
Right.
Or you want to go see it where it's at. You're not going to come and take boxing away and then make me have to come be a tourist to watch boxing to something I already had available to me. That's why that whole plan never made any sense to me.
And that's why the numbers are like Key was it. That's why the numbers are showing it. Well, not necessarily. I can't blame boxing at all. But again, like what I'm saying is that, right? It's like you're trying to reinvent the wheel in a different location. When the wheel has been reinvented, it's been working, and you have a problem, right? You have some kinks, right? But the problem is that they've tried to reinvent the wheel, and they're coming into some of the same problems. But the difference is not only did they reinvent the wheel, but now you have to pay to travel to see the wheel reinvented at a higher cost, right? So that's the thing. So I don't know. We'll see. I personally believe this. If you ever worked in government or anything, budgets change. Budgets are going to change. What you had in your budget one year is not going to be the same next year. And that's why I said it's just not sustainable. Because it depends. For example, if that nation has a natural disaster, the voted on budget is not going to be the same as it was the previous year. And so you can supplement it, and yes, you can stabilize things for a while. But what it seems like to me is that the PIF is really about trying to find their footing in a new international scope, because now they were the big honchos in oil, but now you got Venezuela, which is why we suddenly going, all these wars in the Caribbean, South America. It's because they're no longer the highest producers of oil. They have to find, and they're still making money, but they got to find some other alternatives. They're rushing, they're trying to build this tourism space, and they got to find out what's going to work. And right now, it doesn't seem like boxing is providing that turnover, which is why I said I don't think that particular model is going to be sustainable for a long-term situation. And in the short term, all it's going to do is hurt boxing, because you're going to destroy the market. And so now you're going to have fighters who really can't generate money saying, I won't enter the ring with this fighter you want me to see fight unless I get this crazy amount that I never would have earned in the first place. So,
and it's funny, speaking of, not to cut you off, Queen, but let me say this in that article too, that put this out, and these are investigative journalists, so don't be mad at me, y'all, or Jupe or 2 Cents. But one thing that they said, Jupe and 2 Cents, was that the money that they have back in these industries, I guess a few of them turned out to be scams. So one of the scams, so one of the scam was a selfless driving car. Now, as we know, I don't know if y'all know, but China, I believe, is one of the only countries that have the selfless driving car. So they put money into this. I think it was called no, it's a weird name. And it turned out to be a scam. Basically it fell apart. Then, if you also, for those are who are research geeks like I am, there's been some construction scams. So if you look up Saudi Arabia construction scam on Google, you're gonna see that they had these big buildings, right? So Saudi Arabia is known for like their elaborate buildings and everything. Well, it turned out that these buildings and stuff that they've been building for about 10 years, y'all. The contractors and everybody was stealing money. You feel me? So it's a few of their companies that they have investments with that have went belly up over the years or are not turning in a return on their investment. Another thing too that
Who
I just
are
want to
these people with this money? Key?
I
Like, what are
don't
they
know. Two
doing?
cents. I have no idea. Where is the oversight? But like, well, I'm like, how y'all just losing money like this? But another thing that nobody is really talking about is gold. Gold in the past 2 years have been on this surgence, and so there are reports, not from me. Again, this is not coming from us. This is you can look it up. Just put in Saudi Arabia gold and China, and what they have been doing is investing, giving their gold reserves into a bank in China because China is currently on a de-dollarization of the US dollar. I don't know if y'all know that.
Yeah.
But and so that is also, which is why Trump threw the whole bag at him. Like, look, just come on in. Come on in because we can't lose Saudi Arabia low key. That's how we got our petrodollar started. But because of their investments all tied up and they've been involved in scams, what it's saying in this article is that the PIF, they're not saying that they're broke, ladies and gentlemen. I never said that they were broke. Their assets are frozen due to they have too many hands in the pot and there's too many belly up investments. And a
And
lot
that's
of their
what,
big
and that's
money
what I'm
investments.
saying.
I'll go ahead.
And that's why I'm saying I said this it's right, but that's what I was saying. Like people are the reason why people saw that article, and I'm not saying the article is, because I think the first the reason why we found this article out is because it came from a gaming, it was like a website that's known for reporting gaming news. And so when they were saying that, they might not have the funds, people read that as Saudi Arabia doesn't have any more money, everybody's broke. That's not what they're saying. They're saying that, like, okay, it's so many things. Saudi Arabia is investing in all these different industries. And so right now, I think, to me, I read it as a reprioritization. And so they had to freeze everything because they might want to reprioritize. And because they're investing in too many different things. It seems like to me that they're just trying to, like, to me, they're throwing multiple things at the wall and seeing what sticks. And then they're reprioritizing based on that. So it's not that they don't have any money. It's just that they're trying to take a moment to say, okay, what are we going to put more of our energy and money into? That's how I read it. But it's not this endless fund, because if it was an endless fund, they wouldn't need to do that, right? You wouldn't need to read that.
Bingo. There you go. Yep, exactly.
That's the point I'm trying to get to. They wouldn't have to read
Unlimited money.
endless.
If it was unlimited,
If it was unlimited, they wouldn't have to say, wait a minute, we're investing in too many different things. Let's stop and find out what's going where. If it was, and that's what I don't understand why someone would think there's no such thing as unlimited funds. There's just no such thing.
let me get.
And that's what.
real
Oh, go
quick.
ahead.
Shout out to Mr. Greg with the $5 in the super chat. He says, "I agree with Jukes that today's fighters are bigger because of improved training, nutrition, and conditioning methods and science. And by science, he means steroids." Go ahead.
But I do want to say this. Isn't this an interesting timing? If I know 2 Cents remembers when I said this, but remember just 2 weeks ago there was that hit piece out on Daniel Kinahan. Remember that 2 Cents
Yep.
that Daniel had
And
been
he's back
spotted.
in boxing.
Yep, that he was back in boxing and everything else. And now look at what is coming out. So again, none of this stuff, in my opinion, I believe that all this is connected. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if that investigative journalist who put that out about Daniel Kinahan being over there in the Middle East, still involved in boxing, I would not be surprised if next year we hear something else again. And you know what I'm saying? In Saudi Arabia and Turkey and all this other stuff, because all of these stories, y'all, are coming out back to back. Ain't no such thing as a coincidence. Like, I feel like it's I'm on to something with these. You know what I'm saying? Like with these stories,
Yeah.
I'm connecting.
Yep. Yep. Because I'm telling y'all, I mean, Turkey said he had 18 months left, Key. Where are we at on that 18 months?
What be like 2 years now, 3 years?
No, he said.
Oh, didn't he say he only had 18 months to live?
No. Oh, don't get me started with that. Don't get me started with that.
Remember,
I've
he had
already
cancer, right? Didn't he have
Key,
cancer?
Who has
Key,
cancer?
Wait.
Didn't
When
Turkey had cancer, right?
Oh,
When I brought that up and asked the audience about that, they act like it wasn't a big deal that this man just came out and flat out lied and told y'all he was dying and he wanted to do all these big fights and all of this stuff like that because he didn't have that much time to live. Everybody just brushed over that lie and just kept it moving like it was cool that he came out with this super emotional story to connect y'all to him, and then it just poof went away into thin air, and nobody is acknowledging the fact that he just manipulated the hell out of y'all.
Oh my God, 2 cents. Okay, when y'all first said it, I was like, "What? No!" And then you triggered my brain. I said, "Wait a minute." He did. Okay, there was this story that came out. Now, did you say that? I remember him saying that he just makes the fights he want to see because of the time. Like I almost forgot about that. Wait a minute. So he was, not that he was sick, but like there was something. And so now you got me thinking. You might be right.
He was sick.
No, it was cancer. He said he had cancer,
He
right?
was dying.
You're right. I had forgot about that until y'all just said it. I'm like, no, I'm thinking you're saying he just announced he got cancer. I'm like, wait, huh? I had like a little brain fart. So now it's him saying, but I do remember him saying like he's just making the fights he wants to see. But you're right. He marketed this. Oh my God, that's so manipulative.
So then, what was the 18 months then? 2 cents. What was you talking about?
Well,
I thought
he was saying like I think it might have been towards the end of last year, basically that he has 18 more months in boxing, and then he's gonna be out.
Oh yes. Oh no, he's not. Wait a minute. Speaking of, have we even got a rollout for Zuffa boxing yet? Dana White, TKO, or is it Zuffa?
I think Zuffa boxing is done.
How they just signed Vito Milnicki?
Done. They ain't get started yet.
It's dead DOA. Dana White,
but they just signed Vito and Brandon Adams.
Federal investigation. You think he about to start up a whole new league for fixing fights and everything? Antitrust lawsuits. Y'all destroying evidence.
Wait. So that's Zuffa already. So you say that so this is all with Zuffa, all those lawsuits.
And from my understanding, Paramount not even too happy with the WWE stuff and the money and stuff that's bringing in and doing. So I really don't know what's going to go on with the Zuffa boxing thing. I haven't heard too much of it.
Yeah, the prices are going to have to go up because of the UFC.
We heard the Muhammad Ali Act thing. I think the fact that the first thing they tried to do was change legislation should have been the biggest red flag you ever seen in your life. But
there's a hearing on December 4th on Thursday.
Oh, really?
Okay. I wonder what they gonna do now that Dana got all this heat on him. Y'all think they gonna still change the legislation?
It depends.
With this Congress, who knows?
Exactly.
Where all my Turkey Johnson bounces at? Is anybody gonna explain to me what's going on with Turkey? Somebody said he had a tumor removed in 2019. But that's not what the story was when he came into boxing.
Yeah, when he came into boxing, he said he had cancer.
And that he was dying. He had a limited time.
Wait a minute. Cause he got to do something, Dana White, because he got that big UFC fight next year at the White House.
I heard that's in jeopardy.
Oh yeah.
I heard that's in jeopardy though.
Damn.
Key, you not finna do nothing at the White House under federal investigation, are you?
What? Our president all investigation every other day.
That's the best place to do some type of mess.
He just got off. He just let off the king of cocaine. He just pardoned him today.
If you are
bought in
400
tons, bro.
Time to talk to the U.S. government. Look at that article. Y'all right. Look at that article I just posted. I Googled it. I'm like, I do remember seeing some type of article.
There it is. There go Jupe. That's what I'm talking about, Jupe. There it go. Shout out to Jupe. Yep, we ain't tripping.
I'm like,
know,
you're
I
right. I did hear something about that, and that's the article I saw. How they used it to say, "Hey, fighters come to me. Me having this health issue is about to make me spend all of Saudi Arabia's money."
And that's why we heard that rumor at the beginning of the year that he was paying his fighters allegedly in crypto. Remember, he paid somebody in Bitcoin.
But I also remember the beginning, fighters were not getting paid. Remember when didn't Big Baby have to steal his car back or something? Because
yeah,
in the beginning, those fighters were struggling. But yeah, I do remember that they were saying, "Oh, Turki Al-Sheikh has a health problem, so he's rushing to make these fights now, and he'll give you any type of money." And that kind of was to like accelerate fighters running to him to get the bag before he no longer had the bag to spend because his health was fading. They use his health as a marketing tool to get fighters to sign to him so they can get
as a manipulation tool. Call it what it is, Jude.
It was absolutely manipulation. He literally used his health to manipulate fighters to say, "Hey, come on, sign with me so I can give you this big money." Because
Let's see what the article say, Jude. Let's see what the article say, Jude. Because when I said I'm hating and I'm making it up, but let's see what Boxing Scene say, because I distinctly remember telling y'all that he was manipulating y'all. I told y'all. I just don't understand why people don't listen. Y'all think I just be making this stuff up? Anyway, as a chairman of Saudi Arabia's General Entertainment Authority, Al-Sheikh has been afforded the vast financial resources by his polarizing country's government to fully finance many of the biggest boxing matches that have taken place or been scheduled since late October. Al-Sheikh is also very passionate about a now niche sport he hopes regains what he believes is its prestigious rightful place worldwide. And why are we going off what he believed? Like he just this boxing connoisseur been watching it for decades. Aside from his genuine love of boxing, the 42-year-old Al-Sheikh indicated during an interview with The Zone, Aid Oladapo, whatever his name is, that he has a deeply personal reason for putting together so many high-profile fights in such a short span of time. So he came here to put on the fights that he want to see in a short period of time. He has a deeply
so manipulative. Oh my goodness! And we ain't even heard about this health issue since. And that was, I think, this was 2024, y'all. This was last year.
He says, I like to work, Al-Sheikh stated during a 19-minute question and answer session The Zone posted on the social media platforms and website Wednesday. I like it for my country and for the trust of my king. God bless him, and the trust of the crown prince for me. And I even have a personal situation and reason. I have a lot of health issues in the last 5 years, maybe. And this has made me want to do everything and to see it in my life. Al-Sheikh didn't divulge details related to his declining health, but his words shed light on perhaps why he was so insistent on staging the Day of Reckoning event December 23rd at Kingdom Arena in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. That stat card featured 8 pay-per-view bouts occurred only 8 weeks after former UFC heavyweight champ Francis Ngannou nearly upset unbeaten WBC champ Tyson Fury in Ngannou's professional boxing debut October 28th at Kingdom Arena. And how is Turki Al-Sheikh gonna criticize Jake Paul and Canelo fighting, but he had Ngannou and Fury fight? Anyway, the very costly Fury Alexander Usyk title unification fight scheduled for February 17th at Kingdom Arena will take place just 8 weeks, blah, 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 blah. We are coming with new strategy, Al-Sheikh said, and a new idea and new vision to do and deliver to the market the best fights with good price and make the fights that people want to see. We don't want to waste time. Tyson Fury is 35 now, around 35. Joshua's around 33. Blah, 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 blah. I want to tell you I don't have the magic. I have something more powerful than magic. Behind me, there are two big mountains. You cannot see the end of the mountain. The king and the crown prince support what we are doing. We cannot do this without their support. So basically, once they don't have their support no more, they're not doing this. It's one, what they telling you, and two, we ain't heard nothing else about Turkey Al-Sheikh and his health issues. They wanted to get all these big fights done so quickly. And then, once again, if we're honest, Turkey still has not given people the fights that they wanted to see.
No, he
People wanted
hasn't.
to see Boots and Crawford. He gave you Crawford and Canelo. People wanted to see Benavidez and Canelo. He gave you Benavidez and Anthony Yard. People wanted to see Shakur Stevenson and Tank. He gave you Shakur Stevenson and Padley. Shakur Stevenson and Zepeda. Devin Haney and Brian Norman. Devin Haney and Ramirez. Like, he gave y'all Bivol and Benavidez. And ever since then, he been giving y'all all the fights y'all want to see. And it's just simply not true.
And you know what? I don't even give him credit fully for for Bivol and Beterbiev, because if you recall, Beterbiev versus Bivol was on Top Rank ESPN. The Turkey hosted the undercard on the Zone.
Oh yeah, because Bob changed it at the last minute.
Right, Bob from the beginning was like, no, my fighter has the majority of the belts and he gets just as many views. He actually has he had a larger viewership. Beterbiev really was the A-side. They weren't on pay-per-view, but Beterbiev was the A-side because he was on ESPN. He had 3 of the 4 belts. And now the only reason it was probably 50-50 almost was because Bivol had fought Canelo. But again, so that's why. But if you look at that fight, remember the undercard was on. I think the undercard was pay-per-view, and the main event wasn't. It was like the weirdest card in my lifetime. It was so weird.
Damn. Yeah, I remember that. And then what about the whole we not doing no more pay-per-views? He been telling y'all that the whole time. It's just steady doing pay-per-views. And steady raising the price to watch fights because you got to pay for a subscription for the subscription. Like, it's getting strange. But I want to thank everybody for joining me today. If you haven't already, be sure to punch that like and subscribe button. If you're listening to the replay, be sure to let me know and drop it below your 2 cents about what you think about the live. I mean, listen, the people in the chat, man, there's a lot of off-topic Johnson bouncing today in my chat. Let's just try to stay on topic when we're in the chat, add something insightful to the conversation, and stop trying to make every single conversation about Tank. Like, y'all are getting extremely, extremely annoying with that. I'm not sure if, like, y'all paid to come derail people's chats talking about Tank, but it's not very becoming. It's giving DL vibes. So y'all gotta relax. We're gonna go around the panel, let everybody get their final 2 cents off. Jupe, what's your final 2 cents? What you got for the show?
I just want to say, y'all subscribe, hit the like for 2 cents. Amazing channel, always letting us get our 2 cents off. I will just say that first, when it comes to the events of last weekend, again, I still think that was a really good card. I'm happy for everyone, but the fight I'm most excited about is Abdullah Mason, because I like stacked divisions, and I feel like Abdullah Mason winning his championship is gonna make the most impact. Like, I always think about a fight card and and what division is gonna get the biggest impact. And to me, that was Abdullah Mason's win, right? So 135 to me always was kind of like pretty warm, but now it's hot. Like, I want to see everybody fight everybody, the champions, the contenders, everybody, right? Benavidez, I feel like Benavidez, we'll see. I love how, like, he stepped out, like, I'm doing this, I'm doing my own thing. When it comes to Devin, and I know it's been a big contention, again, I'm cool with Devin. I'm just not trying. You're not getting credit for somebody that you destroyed for 5 years. You're just not. It's not about to happen. And y'all can say we're wrong or what have you, but you know, at this point, I feel like the same rules that we put in for Boots Ennis at 147, I feel like everyone should be holding to those same rules. He fought the best at that division, which was at that time Stanionis, and he was pushed up by fans, Devin fans, everybody. No one wanted to see no undisputed run if it was a weak division. So my thing is that we should keep that same energy. You know, if you want to fight Ryan to get your get back at 147, fine, so be it. Move on up. But when it comes to this whole Turkey, Al-Sheikh and money thing, I don't know. I just feel like anytime you're dealing with public funds and a government in these unstable times, things can change. I think that he can potentially, you know, I've been told y'all that, right? But they're like, oh, and my question is a question I didn't get to ask earlier. Do we believe that this whole money thing with this whole money and financial situation with Turkey Al-Sheikh, is that why we haven't gotten the Shakur versus Teo announcement? That was something I wanted to bring up earlier, but we didn't get a chance to discuss. Because we keep hearing about Shakur versus Teo, which I would love to see because I'm a Shakur fan. But why are we not getting that announcement yet? Right?
Yeah, that's the question.
Right. Like, does that have something to do with the Turkey money situation or not? The other thing,
and Shakur Stevenson, because it seemed like Shakur been having an issue getting his paper.
Right, because that's all I'm saying. Like, because I remember anytime if Tank don't sign a fight, or not forget just Tank, PBC. If there's a rumor PBC fight, and like right now, today I was on a chat and I heard him saying, well, when we were talking about Devin wanting to fight Rolly Romero, no, it's trash. And they were saying, well, we haven't heard about Rolly and Pacquiao yet. And I'm like, wait a minute, y'all are more focused on the fact that Rolly and Pacquiao hasn't been announced, but we keep hearing about Shakur and Teo, and that fight supposed to be coming sooner, and we haven't heard anything, right? So that's all I'm saying. I think that is weird, and I'm wondering if all this Saudi investment fund and all this has something to do with why we haven't gotten that announcement. Also, I initially heard that fight would be with PBC. So this, I don't know what's going on with Shakur and Teo, but that's later time. But earlier today, I made mention of how, like, even though the Haney fans are going for Rolly right now, fine, go after Rolly. But I'm going to be true blue about this and be on some real stuff. I tried to give some of his fans a head up. Maybe they know him. For real, if I was Devin, I would go for that Ryan fight right now and try to lock him in. The reason being, look at the landscape. So Tank right now, we don't know what's going to happen with him. I doubt he's about to retire. I don't care what he's saying. It's unlikely he's going to retire, right? So he's about to have a fight coming out soon. And it's starting to look like he's going to have to defend his WBA belt, right? Because the, what's his name? Schofield and them, they're pressing for it. Maybe they will, maybe they won't, right? So that's a potential. Is that the best fight we want to see Tank in? Absolutely not, but it's still a good fight. Yes, it is, because it was a good fight for Shakur, right? But
Facts.
Right. And you can't say it's a good fight for Shakur and not a good fight for Tank. I'm sorry, you can't keep having these double standards. Now, it's not the top I want to see them. However, if you build that card, it will sell. So now you're looking at the landscape, and Devin is they keep talking about Rolly. Rolly is rumored to be in conversation with Manny Pacquiao. But what I said on KO channel was, even if Manny Pacquiao falls through, he has his mandatory with Giasov. And guess who Giasov signed to? Eddie Hearn. Eddie Hearn didn't speak so positively about Devin, did he? So that's a lost opportunity. So let's say, but we already know Ryan is looking at Barrios. Who is Barrios signed with? PBC. So now you're looking at Tank, PBC. And now you're looking at Schofield, who Golden Boy, right? And now you're looking at Ryan, Golden Boy, Barrios, PBC. Are you seeing the connection here? If you don't lock down Ryan, and I've been hearing rumors that there could be it's a rumor that if Tank was to fight a mandatory, they would try to get Ryan versus Barrios as the co-main. So I'm saying y'all so focused on Rolly. Rolly gets that if Rolly gets that Pacquiao card, he don't even need a big undercard. They'll probably put maybe PBC got a good roster, so they'll pack that out with maybe like Charlo or some shit. Who knows? But the point is that y'all so hyper focused on Rolly. You're number 3 in the line for Rolly right now. Pacquiao's number 2 for Rolly because Eddie Hearn just came out saying that they don't want to do step aside. So everyone keep asking why Rolly and Manny ain't been announced. It's because Giasov is fighting for his opportunity, and Giasov is signed to Eddie Hearn. And if you think, and if Giasov wants to get that fight and beat Eddie Hearn, I'm sorry, if Giasov was to get that opportunity and beat Rolly, Eddie Hearn's going to give him some freaking Conor Ben. And that takes out another opportunity for Devin. All I'm saying is like they're not looking at the lay of the land. Y'all so busy trying to like one up Tank's old work. They're not looking at the lay of the land. Because shit can be sold up for a minute. So I was trying to get a minute because I
think they wanted to be sold up for a minute so they could have an excuse.
That's a point. That's a point. But think about it. If Rolly fights Manny, right? And then you got if Rolly does fight Manny, or if he don't fight Manny, right? Or you got so many options before he even gets to Tank. Or if he fights Giasov and he loses to Giasov, and now you give it Eddie Hearn. Eddie Hearn seems to not be so pro Devin right now. You're wasting your time on Rolly. I don't see him getting Rolly. That's all I was trying to say.
You're not getting Rolly. They clout chasing Rolly. That's what I'm trying to say.
Right. And Barrios got like it's sold up. It's sold up.
He's stuck. He has to, if he wants any like type of just like credit, he gonna have to move up.
Right. Or try to get Ryan. Like if Ryan is indeed fighting Barrios and he gets a belt, you need to lock that in now. Like, hey, I'm your opponent if you win. Lock that up now. Same thing with Shakur. Because remember when Tio was wearing those PBC hats? And you see how PBC and Top Rank getting cozy? I wouldn't be surprised if Tank popped out with, I'm telling you, like, if they don't got that locked in, anytime Tank don't got an opponent, it's dangerous for everybody. We saw what happened with Frank Martin. That's all I'm saying. But I'm gonna let you ladies go. That was my 2 cents. And y'all have a good evening.
Shout out to Jupe. Jupe she just cooked. Chef Jupe in the building. She just broke it down to how Bill is finna run around here talking about everybody when he know everybody busy and got something else to do. Shout out to Mr. Greg with the $10 in the super chat. He says Africa countries are taking back control of their resources, and gold is one of them. China is helping them. This already has an effect worldwide, and the Saudis are about to feel it like France is. Key with the T, what's your final 2 cents? What you got for the show?
Well, I'm gonna keep it brief. Shout out to Jupe. Salute to 2 cents. Make sure you guys subscribe to her channel. I also want to say salute to the queens. I forgot to salute in here that came in. Miss Joette and Sexy Kendra. Salute queens. Salute to the kings in here. Y'all cut up tonight. But salute to y'all. I'm just gonna end it like this. Where there's smoke, there's fire. I'm gonna keep it on this whole Turkey situation because it's not just him. And I don't want to make it seem like, you know what I'm saying, I'm singling him out or anything. But we all know that saying, birds of a feather flock together. And it's like ever since all this stuff started happening with these betting, gambling, period, whether it's the CEO of these casinos getting busted to the basketball situation. Now it's moved to the UFC. Then we have the Daniel Kinahan reemergence allegedly. And now with this whole situation surrounding Saudi Arabia, you know, I just got all of them is involved in one thing, and that's gambling, that's sports, that's betting. You know what I'm saying? So I wouldn't be surprised if, you know, things start to move that way. And again, I'm still shocked that Dana White got popped off, given the fact that he's linked up with this administration on three in a whole triangle, like he plugged in. So I'm still surprised that he getting, you know, he's still getting investigated and everything else. But that just lets you know when it comes to this game, and when it comes to that money, there's no friends in this. There's no friends when you all the way at the top making hand over fist like that. There's no friends. Anybody can be backstabbed. So I'm gonna keep my eye on that and see how this plays out, especially with the rise of a multipolar world. We have Japan doing what they're doing in boxing and appearing that they want to, you know, move into the American market. You got Jay-Z and Rock Nation back in the fold, wanting to expand into boxing and get that going again. Like, it's so many different maneuvers. There's so many different players now. It's crazy. And of course, I'm going to keep my eye on all of it, because this is, regardless if it's the Devin Haney or the Tank Davis or Shakur, whatever the case, David Benavidez, Canelo, Bud, whatever. At the end of the day, I think we can all agree that this is a sport that we all love. And we know that boxing is not regulated. But what we don't want is to allow people to come in and do the okey doke, pull the, you know what I'm saying, start doing what they want to do and make boxing hot. You feel me? We don't want
Yup.
that.
It's too late. It's too late.
Nah, I got faith. I think as long as Al Heyman and Bob Arum is still alive, and damn it, Don King, as long as we got the damn Trinity, the holy Trinity of boxing right now, still alive and kicking at 125 and 115 years old, we got faith. I have faith that boxing will be okay, that they gonna pull their old school strings and make sure boxing is run smoothly. They connects, because y'all can't tell me Don King, Bob Arum, and Al Heyman don't have connects. Y'all can disagree on the platforms, but we know, okay, especially Don King and Bob Arum. All right, they was born 212 years ago. They got a lot of connects. But shout out to 2 Cent. Shout out to everybody that was here. And as always, I'm out.
Shout out to Key with the T. Hold on, y'all. Let me write this down. Shout out to everybody that joined me tonight. It was a lot of trolling in my chat tonight. A lot of people insisted on bouncing on Tank Johnson tonight in the chat. But I mean, I guess if that's what y'all wanted to do. Hold on. And it's crazy because I promise I've been on here 3.5 hours. It feels like I haven't even been on here that long. Like, time flies by when I'm doing these live streams. I wish time went by this fast at work. You get what I'm saying? But shout out to everybody that joined me today. We had some great conversations. We're gonna have to see what's up with Devin, man. We're gonna have to see who he fight next. Is he gonna act like everybody ducking him and fight subpar competition, the Shakur Stevenson play? We just gonna keep an eye and see exactly what he gonna do. Whoever he fight is whoever he fight. I really don't care, but I am gonna give my criticisms and critiques about it, because y'all have no problems giving y'all criticisms and critiques about fighters that you want to criticize and critique. I think it's interesting that it's rumors going around that Turki Al-Sheikh and the PIF fund is not essentially running out of money, but they're cutting back, they're freezing their funds, they're taking a better look at the investments that they have made. I'm not sure who's ahead or run their businesses or or what type of research they did to any of these investments that they made. But I was just wondering, why are they just tossing money and throwing money around like this? I'm not gonna say that. I've been in positions or am in positions to where I handle a lot of money. And I don't just toss money around just because I have it. I don't put money in investments just because I have it. It's a criteria that you have to follow. It's some research that you have to do. It's a level of trust you have to have with people. It's a level of knowledge you have to have about an industry before you just go throw money in it. So we'll see how this plays out. I think Turkey Al-Sheikh coming out even making a statement about him still having money in it. 2026 is going to be such a great year in boxing. We should probably, or I'm going to maybe assume the opposite. Turkey Al-Sheikh has not been forthcoming or honest in a lot of the things that he said and promised. I didn't believe him then. I'm not going to start believing him now. But so far, the things that I have said, especially in that debate that I won, but it got overturned about Saudi Arabia and Turkey Al-Sheikh, each one of them, if you make a list and had a check mark or just cross it out, it's all coming true one by one. I don't know how I was able to see this and other people wasn't able to see this. The boxing world wasn't able to see this. The boxing execs wasn't able to see this. The sanctioning bodies wasn't able to see this. I don't believe that they weren't able to see this. I'm not really sure what the thinking was, or maybe it was just get the money while it's here, while it's available. But we'll see how everything plays out. Lamar Roach and Pitbull fight coming up next week. I wish I could go to the fight, but I'll be heading to Lubbock, Texas to Nationals with my son next week. We will give our final predictions for that fight next Friday. I'm going to hop around these YouTube streets and talk about the fight where people get their 2 cents to see what they think. Watch a couple videos, watch a couple fights, and next Friday I'll be able to give my final prediction. Join me again Sunday from 5 to 7 p.m. for the Sunday wrap-up show. And listen, if you don't want your host all in the videos, timing you out the chat, cussing you out, kicking you off the panel, muting you, throwing you in the background, come on over to 2 Cents Boxing, where we talk everything boxing and everybody's entitled to their own opinion.